Rise and grind, ladies and gentlemen. It's about to get bumpy. Time to attack and dominate. This is Morning Juice with Brandon Beam and Bobby Carpenter.
Sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
And here we go on a Monday, attacking and dominating our way to 9 a.m. every single weekday morning right here on The Fan. Brandon Beam. The General Bobby Carpenter, he's getting back from WrestleMania on a red eye somewhere, maybe in Atlanta. We got our man Michael Bennett with us. And, of course, our fearless leader and producer, Mark the Shark. Michael, happy Easter Monday. Happy draft week. What's going on, buddy? Good to talk to you.
Happy Easter Monday, fellas. I am fighting for my life with these allergies.
Yeah.
I've been taking Rhinocort, so, I feel pretty good about it, but my eyes are just rebelling against me.
I don't know what Rhinocort is.
Oh, well, that means you must not be getting kicked in the face with allergies. Rhinocort is the only thing that gets me through mid-March to, I'd say, early May. I don't even know if it's still called Rhinocort. It's a nose spray. And I start taking that as soon as March 15th hits, and I take it twice a day, every day for the next month and a half.
It's intense.
Keeps me going, man, because Ohio allergies, I don't know what it is. I don't know what plant it is that my body has beef with, but it is just a fight. It's a fight for survival.
Yeah, it's tough. We slept with the windows open last night, and I can feel like a. This is going to sound gross. I can feel like a film layer over my eyes. I can feel pollen coating my eyeballs here this morning. So I don't know what's going to be on tap. I don't know if we're going to have to put the AC on today or what. But we spent the whole weekend outside. So, I'm a mess.
Yeah.
I'm a mess here this morning. But, as soon as these flowers, I feel like, start to be in bloom, the trees as well, But
we're in the last week of it. Mm-hmm. This is that last weekend. Easter weekend is usually the toughest weekend for me allergy-wise. And then, I think through the rest of April, probably a little bit of allergies, but once May hits, I'm usually all right. So I'm feeling good. Where we made it through the worst of it. Yeah. Now I just gotta get across the finish line.
Gotta get there. There. We got a great show lined up for you here this morning. We're the Buckeyes slated to go in the draft. 11 Warriors does a fantastic mock-up, as always. Basically chronicling 30 mock drafts and just searching for where the Buckeyes go. So we'll get into that coming up here in a little bit in our next segment throughout the morning. Bill Bender of the Sporting News, he's going to join us this morning coming up at 6:30, talk all the storylines through college football and the NFL draft with him at the bottom of the hour. 7:30 this morning, Tony Gerdeman, Buckeye Huddle. He's going to join us. We'll talk some Ohio State perspective of the draft, guys going in, where are most interesting landing spots. That's coming up at 7:30. And then at 8:30, your former teammate, also national champion, Joshua Perry. He's going to join us a little bit later on, as he traditionally does, Monday at 8:30. Before we hop into anything else today, it is Monday. It's the 21st day of April, 2025. Time for Today in History.
Time to get smarter. Morning Juice presents Today in History. Here's your professor, Mark the Shark.
Sponsored by Dr. Mark Levy. If you're snoring and not sleeping, call Dr. Mark Levy at 1-800-MORE-SLEEP.
Good morning. Happy Monday, Dr. Sharkey.
There's no such thing as a happy Monday. Unless it's like a holiday. But good to see you guys anyway.
I'm glad to know that you're so positive. You only have a few Mondays left to go, big dog.
A few? I got another 10.
Yeah, well, it's less than you had last Monday.
That's on two hands. You can count on two hands.
One of them is Memorial Day, so I've only got 9.
Look at that.
Take that. Well, today is April the 21st, and one of the great cities of the world, one of the most important cities in the history of the world, was founded on this date in 753 B.C. Twin brothers Romulus and Remus founded Rome on the site where... That was the Wright brothers. They founded Rome on the site where they were suckled by a she-wolf as orphaned infants.
Is that
That's true.
Is it true?
We're raised by wolves.
You ever been to Rome, Shark?
I'm going there in September.
Okay, tell me how it is. Have you ever been to Rome? I know you've been to
I've
Italy.
been to Florence.
Okay.
Yeah.
A lot of history over there.
A lot of history, and in the smallest country in the world, the major history made this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Was that this morning?
It was this morning. Yeah, Pope Francis passed away this morning.
What time was that?
I don't know. I saw a tweet come up an hour ago. So, it's pretty recent here this morning.
How old?
I don't know.
I believe he was the first ever pope from South America.
You are correct.
Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Bean. 1855, the first train crosses the Mississippi River's first bridge? Went from Rock Island, Illinois to Davenport, Iowa. In 1865, 6 days after his death by assassination, President Lincoln's body left Washington, D.C. on its way to Springfield, Illinois, where he would be buried. And yes, that funeral train did pass through the streets of Columbus, where thousands of residents of our fine city paid tribute. In all, the train traveled through 180 cities and 7 states before Lincoln was laid to rest. 1910, the Cleveland Naps played their first game at League Park and lost to the Detroit Tigers 5-0. The Naps would later have their name changed to the Indians and then the Guardians. 95 years ago today, 1930, one of the worst prison disasters in American history happened right here in Columbus. A fire at the old Ohio State Pen killed 320 inmates. The pen was built in 1834 with the capacity of 1,500 people, but it was almost always overcrowded, had a reputation for poor conditions. At the time of the 1930 fire, there were 4,300 prisoners living in that jail.
Goodness.
I do have a stone from that prison in my house. When they tore that down, they were giving away the stones of the outer wall.
Really?
So I drove by there and picked one up.
All right.
Well, I shouldn't say picked one up. I had to pay for it.
So you technically picked it up
Walked
still.
by the site.
What else? 1956. Oh, this is a big one. Elvis Presley's first hit record hits #1.
Well, since my baby left me, well, I found a new place to dwell. Well, it's down at the end of Lonely Street, that Heartbreak Hotel.
You ever stayed at Heartbreak Hotel?
Multiple times.
Still there.
You done got your heart broke. General Motors was established in 1908 in Flint, Michigan by William Durant. GM would eventually buy Buick and Oldsmobile and Cadillac and Chevrolet. And it was on this date in 1967 that GM sold its 100 millionth automobile.
How many do you think they're up to now?
67, man, that was 58 years ago. Yeah, they probably passed, I'm going to say 250 million, Beam.
I think probably maybe more.
More than that.
Yeah.
What does it take to sell 1 billion cars?
Not a billion.
I know. I'm saying like
Oh, what would it take? It would take selling 1 million 1,000
In
times.
2024, they sold 2.7 million.
so probably not even 250, right?
Yeah, it's close.
April 21st, 1973, Tony Orlando and Dawn's Tie a Yellow Ribbon Around the Old Oak Tree topped the U.S. pop charts. It would stay at #1 for 4 weeks.
Whoa, tie a yellow ribbon around the old oak tree. It's been 3 long years. Do you still?
Never heard that song.
Not
You
once.
never heard that song? Come on.
Why would we have turned that on?
1984, after 37 weeks, Michael Jackson's album Thriller is knocked off as top album by the movie soundtrack for Footloose.
Now I gotta cut loose, foot loose. Kick off the Sunday shoes. Louise.
Did you ever listen to that one?
I have. I know that
You've
one.
heard that
Honestly,
one, okay.
that kind of sounds like a Michael Jackson song, so it makes sense. You know,
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
that was met with dead silence.
I don't know if I agree with that.
It felt upbeat. It was not like the same style, but all right, move on. Sure,
right.
give me the next
That
one.
was Kenny Loggins, by the way. 1989, the movie Field of Dreams, starring Kevin Costner and James Earl Jones, premiered in, of all places, Dubuque, Iowa.
If you build it, he will come.
If you build what, who will come?
Didn't say.
I hate it when that happens.
Me too.
Daddy, there's a man up there in the lawn. Are you a ghost?
What do you think?
You look real to me.
You believed in the magic. It happened. Isn't that enough?
Annie, it's more than that. I feel it as strongly as I've ever felt anything in my life. There's a reason.
You build a baseball field in the middle of nowhere, and you sit here and you stare at nothing.
This field, this game, It's a part of our past, Ray. It reminds us of all that once was good.
Hey, is this heaven? No,
Iowa.
it's Iowa.
You've seen that movie.
I
Peter.
have.
Okay.
I this is going to be an unpopular opinion. I think that's more of a sci-fi movie and not a sports movie.
Really?
I haven't seen it in so long. It's definitely a sports movie.
I know it's sports adjunct, but I mean, he's
more
watching Ghosts play baseball.
Is
and
it
a
Angels in the
cornfield that he
Outfield a
built.
sci-fi movie more than a baseball movie?
Yeah, kind of. If you think about it, I mean, they're sports related.
That was an era of a lot of baseball movies.
Yeah,
I don't feel like we've seen a lot of sports movies. Yeah, I don't think we've seen nearly as much lately.
1995, the FBI arrested Timothy McVeigh in the Oklahoma City bombing case. He would later be put to death for the murders, I guess, if you will, of 168 people. 2001, NFL Draft.
With the first selection in the 2001 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Michael Vick, quarterback, Virginia Tech.
That's the fastest their offense has moved since they gave the ball to Jamal Anderson in the Super Bowl.
Shut up, Boomer. On the morning of April 21st, 2016, the man known as Prince was found dead in Paisley Park, his Minnesota home and recording studio. Created more than 30 albums, won 7 Grammy Awards. Cause of death at the age of 57, an accidental overdose. Had a bunch of big hits, including this.
It was Saturday night, I guess that makes it all right. You see, what have I got to lose? Nothing, I say,
Never heard that one. Birthdays today. Queen Elizabeth II was born in 1926. She died 3 years ago. Singer Iggy Pop is 78. Actor Tony Danza is 74. Actress Andie MacDowell is 67 today. Can't believe that. What do you remember her from?
Don't know.
Groundhog Day.
Oh, please, not again.
That is a great song.
No, it's not.
No, don't listen to this man.
It's too early.
Something is different.
Good or bad?
Anything different is good. Why are you here?
I bought you. I own you.
But why are you still here?
You said stay, so I stayed.
I said stay, so you stayed.
You fool. Why weren't you like this last night? You just fell asleep.
It was the end of a very long day.
It was a really, really long day.
There had to be some other clips from that movie you could have played.
There's some weird sounds going on in the background there, Shark.
Well, you know,
that's my favorite part.
I had to find something with Andie MacDowell in it because it is her birthday today.
Mm-hmm.
She's 67. Today is the 21st day of April. That's what I have for you, boys.
Good job on that, Sharky. Still thinking
always.
about that scene, Andie MacDowell.
You remember that scene?
I do remember that scene.
So you've seen the movie.
Yeah, it's a good movie. I like the movie. It's a
classic.
I think it is a classic. I love when he smashes the alarm clock. That's how I feel.
I
most
think it's
mornings.
based on a true story.
I do too. I think that's going to be your life when you retire. So every day is going to be the same. Where are the Buckeyes slated to go this week in the draft? That's next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now, we're not watching any major crashes across your central Ohio roadways. Busy traffic on 33 on the southeast side, but right now everything looking up to speed. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by Buckeye Lake Marina. It's boat season at Buckeye Lake Marina. Largest new and used boat inventory in the 3-county region. Details and more at BuckeyeLakeMarina.com.
This is Jeff for Tri-State Men's Health, where we've successfully treated thousands of men for low testosterone and helped them feel like their old selves again. Please take a moment and listen to how we help Billy.
Hi, I'm Billy Hatcher, a former professional baseball player, and I'm a patient at Tri-State Men's Health. Before I started the treatment, it was like my body was sore all the time, and I was feeling very, very sluggish. One day, I would be full of energy, and the next day was like, where did all my energy go? And since I've started, my body hasn't felt this good in a long time. I feel like, I'm not 21 to 25 again. It's just been great. I feel very, very comfortable coming here. When you have the energy, it's amazing. You get to do so many other things that you couldn't do prior to that. If you're tired of hurting in the mornings, you want to improve your health, you want to feel better, give a call to Tri-State Men's Health. I promise you, you will feel better.
Thanks, Billy. It's true. Call 800-900-9654 or go to tristatemenshealth.com.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
Save big money on everyday items you need at Menards. Eliminate odors with Damp Rid Moisture Absorbers. They're perfect for basements, attics, closets, and more. Damp Rid Moisture Absorbers work to attract and trap excess moisture to create noticeably cleaner, fresher air. Save big on Damp Rid Moisture Absorbers at Menards. Plus, check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Say goodbye to car care headaches with Carvenience from Hinderer Motor Company. This is Justin Hinderer. For only $49, we'll pick up your vehicle, leave you with a rental, and return it fully serviced and spotless. No more juggling your schedule or wasting hours at the shop. Carvenience lets you focus on what matters while we take care of all the rest, making life easier. Schedule your service today at HindererMotorCompany.com.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Right now, get $1,500 off a shower or tub replacement or $3,000 off a full bathroom remodel, plus low to no monthly payments. Call 380-225-BATH to schedule your free estimate or go to bathsareus.com. 380-225-BATH.
That's are us. When dreams don't get in, that's are us.
Here at The Fan, we give you 14 hours of live and local programming every day. We care about you. We live and work in your community. Except Bo Bishop. He won't tell us where the hell he is. Your live and local station. Except Bo. The Fan.
This is Pause Before You Play, and it's time for more game day picks from local sports fans. You're on the air. Who you got?
Actually, I'm not betting, just chilling and watching the game.
I know that move. A pause. Sounds like you've got a winning strategy.
Exactly. After I set limits and recognized the risk, I knew it was time to stop.
Now that is responsible betting, folks. Sports are fast. Betting shouldn't be. Make a plan at pausebeforeyouplay.org. That's pausebeforeyouplay.org.
Hey there, I'm Brad. I'm about to win the Tuesday Night Bowling League Championship. I'm also a highway worker for the Ohio Department of Transportation. When you move over and slow down, you're not only giving me room to work, you're making sure I can bowl the winning strike with my buddies.
Roadside workers have lives and families, but when they're on the job, they put it all on the line to protect and serve us. Remember, they're not just roadside workers. Thank you for moving over and slowing down.
Brought to you by ODOT, USDOT, NHTSA, and ODPS.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll have chances of showers and thunderstorms early into the early afternoon. Some could be strong, so stay weather aware. Otherwise, we clear out as we go into the second half of the day. Temperatures soaring into the upper 70s with breezy winds, and then those winds continuing tonight. Lows right around 50. Plenty of sunshine to go around on Tuesday. It'll still be on the milder side with our highs in the low 70s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. What's the going rate for a good babysitter? Also, Shark needs a raise. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up here 6:30 this morning, Bill Bender of the Sporting News. He's going to join the program. Got home yesterday from Easter, spent the whole weekend in Dayton, which was pretty solid.
Did you guys do an Easter egg hunt?
We did do an Easter egg hunt. Yeah, the Easter Bunny came to Meredith's mom's house yesterday, and then Meredith's mom took William to church. We got some things done around the house in preparation of everybody coming over. Meredith and I did that, and then, William's two cousins, and then my brother and sister-in-law, they came over. Meredith's grandpa, aunt and uncle. So it was a nice little day that we had. Yeah, it was good. It was good. But yeah, the Easter Bunny did come around.
The Easter Bunny's the one that hides the eggs?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I didn't see him.
Yeah.
I didn't see them.
In my house, the Easter Bunny would leave the baskets But the parents would hide the eggs.
Yeah, I think the Easter Bunny hid the eggs.
Yeah.
I think so.
Oh,
but yeah,
your Easter Bunny does more than my Easter Bunny.
That's what we did yesterday. So that was pretty solid. And then William's eggs, good job, Easter Bunny, were hidden just in the grass. Yeah. And then the Easter Bunny got a little more intricate for the older kids, for the 5 and the 3-year-old.
Yeah, they got to like climb stuff.
Yeah, they had toy cars and candy, and William and his had goldfish crackers and nothing. He had nothing and then goldfish crackers. So he
probably loved it.
He was finding them, and he would shake the eggs to hear if something was inside because nothing was in it.
Yeah.
Then he would just throw it down. But he would shake the eggs, and then he can't open it with his hands. So what he would do, he would bite the egg, split it open from the top, and then find the goldfish crackers.
There you go.
That's all he would do.
He's got it figured out.
Yeah, so it was a pretty solid little weekend that we had, man. Good to get back. Good to see some family, for sure. NFL draft starting on Thursday. The good folks over at 11 Warriors put together this every year, and I do enjoy it because it takes about 30 mock drafts from different outlets and puts them all together. So Matt and Dan over at 11 Warriors were able to do this. It goes all the way from Athlon Sports, Athletic, all the way to USA Today. 1 to 7 rounds, any kind of mock drafts that you can think of, they scan for Buckeyes, and this is what we're looking at here. So the highest draft projection for any Ohio State Buckeye in this year's draft will be offensive tackle Josh Simmons, slated to go anywhere from pick number 4 in the first round, which is a major, major draft number. So he's slated anywhere to go from round 1, pick number 4. The bottom that he is going actually comes from ESPN and Mel Kiper and Field Yates, is the 4th pick in the second round at number 37. Average draft projection of 25.2 from Josh Simmons. So I think we're going to see his name likely in the first round come on Thursday.
Yeah, he's sitting pretty. That's got to feel good, especially, coming off an injury. I think of all of the people coming out of Ohio State, definitely he's the most likely to go first round. You just never know on draft day what people are going to do. And I don't know if he's had an opportunity to show teams that he's like back and ready. Mm-hmm. They usually, want to know that you're going to be ready for the season if they're taking you first round. But if he is back and ready, if he can do a couple drills, run a little bit, or at the very least show them that he's like a month or 2 out, then yeah, maybe they take that chance on him because he's a heck of a player.
Yeah, because you have to think too. I mean, you'll get rookie minicamp as soon as the draft's done, and then OTAs swiftly follow that, and you go into your summer, and then all of a sudden you're into training camp. So
yeah,
like as long as he is back fully healthy by the time that training camp rolls around, and you have shown scouts and general managers, coaches that you are on the mend, and that's going to happen quickly, you're going to be good to go. Second highest average draft projection comes from the wide receiver room. No surprise here, Emeka Egbuka. Slated to go as high as number 18, round number 1 to the Seattle Seahawks, all the way down to 48 in the second round to the Miami Dolphins. And Emeka is an interesting case story because you talk about fit and scheme. I mean, he's as polished as a receiver comes, right? In the NFL draft, he is so smooth. It just depends when you get into draft night. Like, we know that runs for specific positions always happen.
Yeah. And
it just depends on whether or not the team feels like Emeka is there, or if they like another wide receiver in this class a little bit better. But there will be a receiver. There will be a run on receivers, and Emeka has a good shot to go in the first round. Probably not as good as Josh Simmons, but again, it all depends on the fit of the organization and where he can end up.
Definitely see him fall into early 2, but I think he's going to be a steal as an early 2 draft pick. I think he's got the talent of a round 1 guy. It's just, like you said, it's when they go on runs, it's best available player. And I don't think it's weird, man, because we've seen some incredible receivers come out of Ohio State. So the bar is really high, but there's a lot of room between top 5 pick and 32. So I think that he's going to be a very early second rounder, but I think he's going to go have himself a heck of a career.
We have to think, too, about his career. For as fantastic as he was and the records that he set here at Ohio State, he was really never the best
he was always overshadowed.
In the room.
That's what I'm saying.
He had Marv and Jeremiah Smith with him.
2 prolific receivers.
Like the prolific best guys we've ever seen here in Columbus.
Prolific. And so it's tough for him. Not tough for him. He's had an incredible career, but like it's tough when you go to evaluate him because you're automatically like evaluating him against the best receivers we've seen. And then you're like, okay, but He's also, his route running's incredible. He's always composed, always available. He's usually very, very clutch when it comes to catching, receptions in big games. So the guy's got what it takes. It's just whether these NFL teams evaluate that. And I think more than anything, whether they think they can still get him if they let him slide.
Yeah.
Like if Seattle's at 18 and they're like, we really want Emeka, do we think he'll still be here at 34? Then maybe they let
25
him,
or 26. Yeah. I know exactly what you're saying.
A lot of jostling going around. So sometimes they take that chance. Sometimes it pays off for them. Sometimes it doesn't.
I feel like if you get early second round and Emeka Egbuka still on the board, it could be a possible team trading up scenario to go and get him.
I agree.
He's one of those guys to me. Coming in at number 3 for the Buckeyes, Donovan Jackson, unbelievable player here at Ohio State. You saw his utility this year during Ohio State's offensive line crisis. All-American, unbelievable at left guard, and then put in some of the best tape you'll ever see at left tackle as well. So we'll see what his future kind of holds in the NFL, if they're going to make him a swing tackle or if they're going to keep him at interior. But Donovan's average draft projection comes in at 39.6, highest at number 17 to the Bengals, lowest second round to the Kansas City Chiefs. TreVeyon Henderson, I think, is going to be a fascinating case study. Him and Quinshawn both. Where do they go? Where do the tandem running backs go? TreVeyon average draft projection 41.9. Highest he's got is the Denver Broncos, round number 1, and then the lowest, his projected draft average, is round number 3 to the Cowboys. So that's fascinating to me. Where is he going to end up? And also the same with Quinshawn, because we got to see them, Thunder and Lightning, this year. They were fantastic. But TreVeyon, same thing. Like, you get a right fit for him, man, what a career you could have.
Like you said, I'm very interested to see where he goes, because talent-wise, I don't know if you have. I mean, I'm a big Quinshawn fan. You know that. All season, I think he was one of my favorite players on the Buckeyes. TreVeyon is an incredible talent. I think he is an NFL caliber talent. His biggest issue, and we've talked about it before, is that he hadn't been able to stay healthy until this year. Now, he stayed healthy this year because he had an incredible other running back. Yeah. Well, I'm not going to just say that.
Sure.
I think that he's done work on his body. I think that he's been very purposeful about getting healthy and remaining healthy. But he had help this year. He didn't have to shoulder the whole workload. And the NFL really likes workhorse running backs. So the question is, do you find an NFL team in the first, early second round who's like, we already have a good running back, but we've seen what TreVeyon can do as part of a duo. Maybe we go take a shot on him. But I think the questions remain whether he can handle the workload of, an NFL season.
Yeah, because he was banged up when he was the workhorse here.
Yeah.
I mean, he got injured and it stunk.
Yeah.
But you saw when he was fresh this year.
It was unbelievable. Unbelievable.
I mean, that the end of the half against Oregon will be burned into my brain, and then obviously the end of the half against Texas on that screenplay where he's just running away from everybody. A couple of more on the defensive side. You got Tyleik Williams.
I have my eyes on the D tackles.
I know you love Tyleik.
Yeah.
You're a big Tyleik guy. Highest projection for him, round number 1 to the Detroit Lions at number 28. Lowest projected would be at the third round, number 74 pick to the Carolina Panthers. Average draft projection of 42 for Tyleik. Yeah, you love him.
D tackles it's a tough position because it really just depends on when they start taking D tackles. I haven't looked at this year's D tackle class in depth, but I think Tyleik is definitely in the top 3 or 4 of them. So if he's, if they start picking D tackles early, he's going early. If they wait like my draft class and start in like the third round, then we'll see what happens.
JT Tuimoloau, defensive end here for the Buckeyes. Average draft projection of 57. Quinshawn, slightly lower than that at number 60. Jack Sawyer, the hero of Columbus and Central Ohio, the entire state of the playoffs. He's got an average draft projection of 80. Lathan, 106. Quarterback Will Howard, which we'll talk about Will specifically throughout this week's draft process, just a little bit more in depth. Anywhere for Will between round number 2, 8th pick in the second round, between round number 5.
You're going to listen. I love Will Howard. You're going to look at me crazy when I say this. It is in Will Howard's best interest, I think, to go lower in the draft. I think there could be teams that take chances on him early on. I think this is a guy that if he goes, second round and they expect him to start right away, he'll have a shorter career than if he gets picked up by a team that wants to develop him, wants to give him a chance to learn the offense. I think this is a guy who has the competitive spirit. I think he's got an arm that has the potential to be great, and I think he's got the ability to learn an offense and really take it seriously and be a consummate professional and play 15 years, 20 years in the NFL. But I think it's going to require him going to a team where they let him sit for a couple years behind somebody and learn the offense, learn the speed of the NFL.
We'll talk some draft with our friend Bill Bennett of the Sporting News here in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Right now, no crashes to tell you about, but seeing things pick up on 71 near downtown and on 33 on the southeast side. Make it a great day. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Evan Cohen here. When you're on a business trip, you know what goes completely off the rails? Your workout routine, especially when you book a hotel that doesn't have a gym. So what ends up happening? You do a few push-ups and sit-ups in your room, run around the block, or you just skip it entirely. Lame. If you just stay at La Quinta by Wyndham, you'll discover there's a fully equipped fitness center at every location. Now you can wake up and power your bis and tris the right way, or de-stress with some cardio. The choice is yours. Tonight, La Quinta, tomorrow you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
He shoots, he scores! It's a great time of year to be a fan, but the fun stops when you or a loved one can't control your gambling. Maryhaven is here to help with in-person, virtual, and group options. Learn more at maryhaven.com.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
In high school, Bobby was a district swimming finalist. Also, Beamer still wears floaties. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up tomorrow at this very time, Anthony Schlegel, he's going to join us live. Very excited about that. Also excited about this. Right now we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our guy. He is of the Sporting News, Bill Bender. Bill, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. The NFL draft starting on Thursday up in Green Bay. You got a storyline you're looking out for here, at least through the first round maybe, on Thursday when this gets started?
The Browns. What are the Browns going to do? The Browns. What are they going to do? Take Shedeur Sanders? Do you take Abdul Carter? Do you take Travis Hunter? Do they trade down and get Shedeur Sanders later? And we applaud the Browns instead of, I looked and had misses with their top 5 picks, but we also have to acknowledge they Garrett for the top 5 pick. They've taken Baker Mayfield wasn't a miss. Joe Thomas wasn't a miss. So they've had hits in the top 5. And, as much as it's easy to rip on the Browns, you got to recognize when they do get it right, and perhaps they do get it right on Thursday.
All right, Bill, thanks for joining us. I am very curious about where Donovan Jackson's going to go. You never know where offensive line will start getting picked up, but I see this prediction of round 1, number 17 to the Bengals. Everybody that watches Ohio football and Ohio, NFL football knows that the Bengals need some offensive line help. What do you think? What are the chances that we can see Donovan Jackson staying in state and going early to the Bengals?
That could happen. Another guy they were looking at, I know he worked out with them, was Luke Kander from Cincinnati. So interior line definitely is something they want to do. Donovan Jackson, he was the first-team Sporting News All-American this year. I know one of the things we liked about him was the ability to unselfishly switch positions, right? And he played the other position at a high level too. When he was an All-American guard season point, and I think he'll play guard in the NFL, but having the ability to play tackle, this, Michael, that if you're able to switch around on the offensive line and play all those positions, it only increases your value that much more.
Yeah, it really does. I mean, and we did see it at a really high level because Donovan put together some of the best tape you'll see from a tackle position, even being a guard, Bill. In that college football playoff run, you're like, man, he is not allowing any pressures at all. And he was protecting Will Howard's blind side throughout the entire playoff run and doing a fantastic job at that. Outside of the Browns, Bill, what else are you looking at? Is it just the Shedeur Sanders perspective from you? I just feel like I've gotten the temperature of this draft all wrong. I feel like everyone kind of in the top 10, 15 is trying to trade down because of maybe the lack of quarterback depth in this draft.
Yeah, that and the running back revival. Not just Ashton Jeanty, who's mocked to your Bears and won't like that if it happens because he's phenomenal, all the way down to guys like Cam Scadaboo, who could be a day 2 pick, but fit in right away as a day 3 back. The 2 Ohio State running backs, Quinshawn and Travion. Who goes first? Do both go in the second round? Does one of them sneak up to the first round? Quinshawn, I saw also a mock to the Bears if they pass on Ashton, where they were like, he could fit in that system and be Ben Johnson's version of David Montgomery, which is a scary thought if you're a Packers fan. I think Quinshawn's going to have a really good NFL career.
I see Quinshawn as a Curtis Samuel type. He seems very versatile. I'm very curious about what he's going to do as well. Could you talk to us a little bit about what you're seeing from this D-line class? I'm looking up, our guys are listed as 10 and 17 on the list of D tackles. Is this a strong defensive tackle class?
I mean, Tyleek is an easy pick to me because you know what you're getting. He battled some injuries last year. And then I think if you look at next year's draft, which I'm doing a big board for that now, there's not as many defensive tackles early. I mean, obviously the 2 Michigan guys too, Kenneth Grant and Mason Graham, they'll be first-round picks. I think they're safe first-round picks. And honestly, I think Tyleek is too, because you add him into that mix and he could slip into the first round. You mentioned, Michael, I don't know if it'll be Donovan, Simmons, Tyleek, or even Emeka, who mocked to Green Bay. Ohio State could have as many as 5 first-round picks, or they could have 2, but day 2 is going to be a very heavy Ohio State day.
He is Bill Bender, the Sporting News, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Switch you from guys who are going to live out their dreams of their names being called in the NFL draft this week to guys who are still playing college football. It's a heck of a week for Nico Iamaleava, announcing yesterday that he's going to UCLA. I think, Bill, maybe like $1.5 million was the number, so losing out on more than $1 million by transferring from Tennessee and hitting the portal. Just a crazy saga we've seen over the last week or so.
Yeah, and I would say there are lessons to be learned, but I'm not sure there are. And I don't say that lightly in that he took a stand, but you guys know college football. How much are we going to applaud them for taking a stand if they're 8-4 and don't add a quarterback in the portal? We have short memories when it comes to college football. UCLA had a quarterback. They pick up Nico, his younger brother, committed from UCLA at the last minute in January. 5-star quarterbacks, it's very hard to retain them. Over the last 3 cycles, 50% have transferred at least once already. So, you know what? I did say this. For as much as people criticize Drew Aller, the Medina kid that is at Penn State can say, hey, we got a return on our investment. He didn't transfer. He took us to the semifinals, and he came back to school. If you're a school, you'll take that all day, even if that quarterback is a little inconsistent.
What are you looking at from them this year, Bill, in Penn State and the Nittany Lions? Obviously getting to the college football playoff semifinals. They were a Drew Aller terrible thrown ball interception away from perhaps getting to the college football playoff championship game against Ohio State. Like, they return a lot. I know that Warren is not going to be there, and I know that Abdul Carter is not going to be there, and those guys are certainly going to be hard to replace. But like a majority of their guys are coming back for this year, and it does seem that they're trying to load up over there in Happy Valley.
Well, 2 years ago, Michigan, all the guys stayed, win the national title. Last year, Ohio State, all of these guys that are going to get their names called this weekend, all of them stay, win a national title. We're about to find out if Penn State's that kind of program, because Nick Singleton stayed, Katron Allen stayed, Denise Sutton stayed, Drew Aller. So can they beat Ohio State, which they haven't done since, 2016? That's the big game for me. And they also play Oregon. So can they make that kind of run under James Franklin? That's the pressure point. I don't think we're talking about firing James Franklin, but when you go all in, like they are, the Fans are going to want to see a national title. They haven't won one since 1986.
Do you think they're capable of that? Just Bill Bender, do you think that Penn State is?
They have to. When they beat Ohio State, I'll believe it.
Yeah.
Is that a fair answer?
Of course it is.
Yeah, it's the hurdle.
Because that's the hurdle. That was the one Michigan needed before we could believe that they could win one. And that was, quite frankly, Ohio State last year, once they won that first-round playoff game against Tennessee and Nico, of all teams, you saw, okay, this team's ready to go on a roll.
Bill, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a great week, buddy. Enjoy the draft, and we'll check in again next Monday to recap it all right?
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks. Have a great week.
You too. There he goes, our guy, Bill Bender, the Sporting News, with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. We wait way too long to retire numbers, says at least one coach in college football. That's in Quick Hitters next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Watch for crews off Clinton Street at Hamilton Avenue. Right as you're getting off I-71 at Hudson Street for a crash they're clearing right now. Everything else looking nice and clear. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Wouldn't it be nice if you could dump all your problems on someone else's back? Well, when you wake up to a clogged drain or a plumbing issue, make that Mr. Rooter's problem.
Call 855-MISTERS today or MrRooter.com.
Call Mr. Rooter, he'll be there quick.
Before you start your day, UDF has already started baking your breakfast. We're making biscuits and croissants in our bakery served with sausage, egg, and cheese before you hit your first alarm. Fresh baked breakfast sandwiches from United Dairy Farmers. UDF, mornings made for you.
This is This Date in Reds Baseball with team historian Greg Rhodes.
So what happens if the game's about to start and the umpires have no uniforms? Well, that scenario took place on this April 21st back in 2000 when the Reds were scheduled to play the Dodgers at Synergy Field. Somehow, the umpire uniforms and equipment wound up in Montreal instead of Cincinnati, and clubhouse manager Rick Stowe scrambled to find a solution. Turned out a local sporting goods store had some gear for sale, and that was the good news. But then traffic delayed Rick's return to the ballpark, and even with a last-second police escort, have umpire uniforms ever received such royal treatment? The game started some 27 minutes late. An unexpectedly long night at the ballpark this April 21st. This date in Reds baseball.
This Date in Reds Baseball is brought to you by the Cincinnati Reds Hall of Fame and Museum, presented by Dinsmore. Celebrating greatness, preserving history, providing inspiration.
Another reason to choose Hinderer Motor Company for your next vehicle. This is Justin Hinderer. Every vehicle comes with a lifetime powertrain warranty, award-winning service, and our exclusive Carvenience. We pick up your vehicle, service it, and return it so you save time and enjoy peace of mind. That's Carvenience. At Hinderer Motor Company, we take care of everything so you can drive worry-free. See why we're the best choice for your next new or used car by visiting HindererMotorCompany.com.
Hey, spring is here, and nobody wants to suffer through another spring, summer, fall, not being able to do the things you love. Get outside, walk around with friends, go to your kids' games, go to your grandkids' games. Maybe you want to go bike. Maybe you want to play some pickleball, some tennis, some golf, whatever it is. Those are the activities you love to do, and maybe you're in intense pain. Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. That was me. That was my dad. And so you want to know what we did? We went and saw the medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus, Ohio. They're on the case, and they're going to get you the relief just like they did for us. For me, it was my knee. I had some issues from playing. They helped it out. For my dad, it was his other knee. They helped him out. But whether it's a hip, a shoulder, or back, you won't miss a beat. There's no surgery, and there's no long recovery. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They'll give you your life back without harmful meds. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus and find out the easiest path for you. They've got 2 new locations in Canal, Winchester, and Grove City, so give them a call at 380-208-4544.
The Buckeye Show.
The next year or two, you giving him a shot to win it? I am. Devontae Smith wins the Heisman. You can't picture Jeremiah winning it?
I don't see how you could.
The Buckeye Show.
Presented by Coors Light and sponsored by CareSource.
Weeknights at 6 on The Fan.
Texting enrolls you into recurring automated text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
Hey, Dan, how you doing? Haven't seen you around the gym for a while.
Yeah, I've really fallen off. Since I turned 40, I just don't get the results I used to get.
Could be lower testosterone.
Lower T?
Yeah, I went through it a while back. Once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone. I got Nugenix Total T, and it's made a huge difference for me.
I've seen that ad on TV. Is it for real?
Oh, yeah. The key ingredient is something called Tesnor, which helps boost free and total testosterone levels to help you trim up and stay lean.
And it's made a difference for you? you?
Man, I feel like I'm in my 20s again. At work, in the gym, and in the bedroom.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles for people to try it for themselves?
Yeah, you just need to send them a text.
Text BODY to 321-321 right now for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T, the #1 selling testosterone booster at GNC. Plus, text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo, our most powerful fat incinerator ever, to help you get back into shape fast. Absolutely free. Text BODY to 321-321. That's BODY to 321-321.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. One of these guys thinks Clintonville was named after Bill Clinton. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Hey, you can join the Fan a couple of months from right now, Saturday, June 21st in Westerville, for the inaugural 971 The Race. Register now at 971therace.com. You can join Common Man, Bone, Tyvus on June 21st for a day of activities, food, and live music. The race includes a 1-mile walk, 5K fun run, and if you're a total psycho, the 9.71 kilometer run. Mike, I know that you would sign up for that one. We like to think of this more of a more fun, less run, but our insurance says we can't give you free beer unless there's fitness involved. So come out, do some moving, then hang out with us on June 21st. And we can't take credit for the timing, but June is also Men's Health Month, so let's be active together. Come do it Saturday, June 21st in Westerville. Again, 971therace.com to register and for more information.
Morning Juice presents Quick Hitters.
Sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. Use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100.
Hey, living over there, Sharky.
Oh, it seems like I just talked to you guys.
You did. About 40 minutes ago.
Yeah. What if the NBA hosted a playoff game, but the opponent didn't show up? Happened yesterday in Oklahoma City.
Well, the opponent did show up physically.
You're right. The Grizzlies did show. In fact, they not only showed up, they only trailed by 4 points, 21-17 in the first quarter. And that was before OKC went on a 34-5 run. Later, the Thunder scored 17 straight points to go up 80-36 early in the third quarter. The lead would eventually reach 57 points for OKC, and then they settled for a 131-80 win over Memphis. In the history of the NBA playoffs, Beamer, it's only the sixth time that a team has won by at least 50 points.
Yeah, I was watching a little bit of this. It was a good game, and then turned it off, went to do something, came back. I'm like, well, this is not a good game anymore. This was a bloodbath, and I think that's what the Thunder want, right? I mean, you look at the Oklahoma City Thunder. Is it their time? They've been trying to figure out a bunch of answers ever since back in the day with Russell Westbrook, and then with Kevin Durant, and then with James Harden, and then they've been middle of the road to bad. Now they're back to being really, really good. This will do nothing but good things for them in the playoffs. If you're the Memphis Grizzlies, I mean, I know that you were going to be the number 8 seed regardless of what was going to happen kind of in the play-in structure of it. So it's not like it's like Memphis caught a heater at the end of the year and then shouldn't be in this situation. They were the 8 seed, and boy, did they just get throttled.
Yeah.
That's got to be as big of a wake-up call as you can get. 50 points, it's something only that has happened 6 times in NBA history, including that game. Like, it's a disaster for them.
Yeah, the first round of the playoffs, you're always going to see the shakeout happen, but you usually don't see something like that. So, and especially with John Morant, I would have expected a little bit more from him, but yeah, that's tough. Hopefully they can bounce back and make it competitive for the next 3 games. I don't know if it's going to go much more than that.
I don't know if they can.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. Let's just use the marker, put the Thunder into the next round.
Yeah, I think that's safe.
Normally, when college football players have their numbers retired, it's a process that lasts a decade or two. Archie Griffin, the only 2-time Heisman winner, waited 24 years to have his number retired here at Ohio State. At Colorado, the wait was a little shorter, about 4 months for a pair of stars. Shedeur Sanders and Travis Hunter had their jerseys retired during a ceremony Saturday before the Buffalo spring game. Coach Deion Sanders has been criticized for showing little patience and due process for the number of retirements, but Deion defended himself by bringing up the name of former Colorado coach Bill McCartney, who died in January and won't get to see his statue erected there on campus. Mike, should I say Mike the Fourth?
You can say whatever you want, Shark.
All right. Did Deion jump the gun here a little bit on getting these two guys' numbers retired?
Yeah, well, we're in the era of the death of due process anyways, so I guess it's fitting. I personally think that of either of those, Travis Hunter was the only one who should have really been eligible for retiring his number.
Yeah, dude won a Heisman, was one of the best two-way players we've ever seen in college football.
Yeah, I think the only person I've seen in my lifetime that has been very successful two-way like that is Miles Jack. But Travis Hunter, I think, was significantly more successful than him.
Chris Gamble had some success here at Ohio State doing that.
So I think Travis Hunter, he should have been in a conversation 5 or 10 years from now about retiring a jersey. I don't know what the criteria is for a college football team to retire someone's jersey. I always thought you had to be just absolutely revolutionary at your university. You had to change the game. You had to, just be different. It was the pinnacle. It's not just your winning. It's not just individual accolades, team accolades. You had to be just an era definer to get a retired jersey.
I think Travis Hunter could definitely be that. He certainly was at Colorado and in the college game.
That's what I'm saying. I think he was special. I think 5-10 years down the road, I would have expected him to have that conversation. I don't think that Shedeur was a good college quarterback. He didn't win Colorado a national championship. He didn't win the Heisman. I think he's a good college quarterback. Does that mean you get your number retired now? I was a good college defensive tackle.
Hey, you were an All-American. Shedeur wasn't.
Call him up, Shark.
Put 63 up in the rafters.
It's been 10 years. No, so
you won a national championship too.
Yeah, I don't want to hate on the guy, but I thought the criteria was a little bit more stringent to retire a number. To me, that is as big of a compliment as you can get from a university to freaking retire your number. It's not I think retiring a number is almost bigger than a statue. It's nobody else. You're saying that this number is so sacred that nobody else for the history of your university can ever fill the shoes of that person. I don't know that Shedeur is worthy of that. And I think even Travis Hunter, as incredible as he was, that was going to have to be a conversation. I think that would have required some buildup. I think it would have required some, maybe not politicking is the right word, but let it breathe a little bit. To see, does anybody else meet those standards in Colorado for the next 10 years? Because they're just saying off bat, nobody else that Colorado's going to see for the rest of its history can live up to these two.
Well, and I also think, too, if any time that you now have a quarterback that resembles anything that Shedeur Sanders does,
you know what I mean?
It's why don't I have my number retired? We're still waiting on Troy Smith's number 10 to be retired here in Columbus.
Yeah.
And look at what that guy did.
You said it took Archie 24 years?
Yeah.
Now, first of all, that's outrageous. I think Ohio State should have done something before that. But Archie Griffin's arguably the best college running back we've ever seen.
He's the only dude in the entire world
to have 2 Heismans.
Yeah,
took him 24 years.
Yeah.
But this guy can be a good college quarterback and get it retired in 4 months.
I also think just from their perspective, wait until you're done in the NFL. Wait until you're done. Wait until you can come back. Now you're in the draft process, and we'll see ultimately what happens on Thursday. Travis Hunter likely going to be a top 3 overall pick, and then Shedeur Sanders, who knows what's going to happen with him, if he's going to slide or wherever he goes. I mean, that's a fascinating storyline to look at as well. But as soon as you get drafted, I mean, you know this, and we can talk about this a little bit later on, Mike, you're not coming up for air until this time next year, until the football season ends. I mean, you're going through all different types of mini camps. You're going through all different types of rookie camps. You're not really breathing. You are drinking out of a fire hose for the next year. At least give them some time that they could be honored once they get done.
If you retire Shedeur's number, I expect to see Braxton Miller's number in the rafters. I'd take Braxton Miller over Shedeur any day of the week. I would take any of the last 5 Ohio State quarterbacks over Shedeur any day of the week. Retire their numbers.
Hey, Sharky, good news for you. Cavs got their playoffs started like a rocket ship last night. That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now we're watching crews clear out a crash on the north side of town. This is at the intersection of Hamilton and Clinton Street. Everything else on your interstates, though, looking nice and clear. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan traffic.
At Uline, they know going the extra mile takes hard work. For companies pushing to go further, Uline will go the distance with you. 24/7, they answer the phone to get you the shipping and industrial supplies you need. Business can move fast. Unexpected large orders, adverse weather, new safety guidelines, and changing economic trends. Uline works hard keeping 41,000 items ready to ship, minimizing detours on your way to the extra mile. Visit uline.com.
Breaking news, and this one is almost unbelievable.
Yeah, it's all about new customers at Bet365 because they get $150 in bonus bets when they bet $5, win or lose. And even better, bonus bets can be used on the spread, totals, and player props.
There you have it. Bet $5 to get $150 in bonus bets, win or lose. And see why it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. T&Cs apply.
Bobcat Enterprises says thank you for your support as they celebrate 50 years of serving the construction industry. Established in 1975 in Cincinnati, Bobcat Enterprises has expanded to 9 stores to meet you where you are in Ohio, Kentucky, and Indiana. Find equipment for any construction project, including compact track loaders and excavators. Plus, Bobcat Enterprises rents compact equipment and attachments. Find current specials and locations at bobcatent.com or follow Bobcat Enterprises Inc. on Facebook. Bobcat Enterprises, 50 years working for you.
Open a money market account at Kemba Financial Credit Union and enjoy 4.40% APY intro rate until 2026. That's 6 times the national average. Get the flexibility you need with easy access to your funds. Don't miss out. Offer expires April 30th, 2025. Visit Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. Advantage status and $5,000 minimum and $1 million maximum deposit required. APY equals annual percentage yield. Comparison based on FDIC average. Federally insured by NCUA.
Hey friends, Beamer here, and nope, I'm not passing out draft predictions today. I'm making a bolder prediction, an opportunity, one might say. How about setting a goal to lose 40 pounds by the 4th with Awaken 180? Has a different ring to it when you have a finish line, right? 40 by the 4th. Imagine this. Your scale shows 230 today. How about watching that bad boy dip to a cool 190 by Independence Day? Or maybe it's reading over 300 like my scale did. How would it feel being 260 by the 4th and on your way to losing 70 pounds? Again, like I did with Awaken 180. Looking back, it took me only 8 weeks to drop my first 40 pounds, and with the same results, you'll crush that goal by the 4th. Then ring Independence Day in, shirt off, confident, crack beer, and a burger in hand. You can celebrate reaching your goal knowing you're going to keep the weight off, all thanks to Awaken 180's free support for life. Again, 40 by the 4th may seem crazy, but you can definitely do it. Set your goal and attain it with your long-term solution for weight loss. Online at awaken180weightloss.com.
I can't sleep.
What is it now?
It's the company. It's chaos.
What's chaos now?
The numbers, the expenses, the books. What if we get audited?
No one's going to audit you at 3 a.m. Go to sleep.
I can't sleep.
You could if you used Ramp.
Who said that?
I don't care because they're right. Go to sleep and sign up for Ramp in the morning, Jerry.
Ramp is the corporate card that handles all your tedious financial operations automatically, integrates directly with your ERP, and gives you complete control over every transaction. Ramp gives you everything you need for bulletproof books and a better night's sleep.
Wow, that is exactly what my company needs.
Yes, and exactly what I also need. Go to sleep, Jerry.
Upgrade to Ramp for free today and get $250 at ramp.com/radio. Ramp.com/radio. That's ramp.com/radio.
Cards issued by Sutton Bank, members FDIC. Terms and conditions apply.
Vivid Seats is your ultimate destination for basketball and hockey this season. With a game-changing rewards program and an unbeatable selection of tickets, they make it easy for every fan to watch their favorite teams and players in action. Catch every one-timer and buzzer-beating 3 live and in person from your favorite seat. Plus, every ticket is backed by a 100% buyer guarantee, giving you peace of mind with every purchase. Don't miss out. Visit vividseats.com or download the app today. Vivid Seats, the official ticketing partner of ESPN.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan. Sports.
Good morning. I'm Mark. The Shark Cavaliers opened the postseason by knocking down 18 three-pointers and a 121-100 win over Miami. Donovan Mitchell scored 30 points to lead the way. Game 2 is Wednesday, also in Cleveland. In baseball, the Reds scored 15 runs off 3 Orioles pitchers in 7 innings. Then they scored another 9 runs off a shortstop and a catcher in the final 2 innings. Cincinnati won in Baltimore 24-2. Backup catcher Austin Wynns had 5 singles and a 3-run homer. Last year, Guardians closer Emmanuel Clase gave up 5 earned runs the whole season in 74 innings. This season, Clase has already given up 9 earned runs in just 10 innings. Yesterday, he blew a 3-run lead in the 9th at Pittsburgh, but the Guards scored a run in the 10th to win 5-4. This Sports Center is sponsored by BMI Federal Credit Union. Earn a $200 cash bonus with a home equity line of credit from BMI. Visit bmifcu.org/home-equity.
If you make a wisecrack about Dayton pizza, Beamer will murder you dead.
Humor. I have it too.
This is Morning Juice.
Hour 2 for us here on a Monday. Got Mike Bennett hanging out with us. Bob will be back with us tomorrow. Coming up this hour, 7:30, bottom of the hour, Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle. He's going to join the program, talk about some draft from an NFL perspective, where the Buckeyes could land. So he's coming up at 7:30, and then Mike's former teammate at 8:30, Joshua Perry. He's going to join the program.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the Master Griller.
Crew lose their first game of the week, or of the season, this past weekend. Went all the way up to Cleveland to do it. And they lost to Miami 1-0. They also traded DeJuan Jones to San Jose. And then you get San Jose at home this week. So not a very long week for DeJuan. So that trade perspective didn't really work out as the way I thought it would. I thought DeJuan would be an unbelievable piece of this team, but he could never really find his way into the starting 11. So best luck to him in the future. But yeah, they lose their first game of the year to Miami 1-0. I was talking to my neighbor yesterday. He went up to the game in Cleveland. I'm like, how was it, man? How was it? Good? He's like, it was just really crappy weather.
Well, it's Cleveland.
Yeah. Like, it's Ohio, and it is still April.
Yeah.
Like, we are going to have some rain for sure. But, yeah, they lose their first game of the season, drop their first points, actually. But, yeah, they got San Jose coming up here at home on Saturday. How about the Buckeyes? I feel like the last time you were in here, we were talking about all kinds of different national championships and everything. Add this to the list. Not a national championship, but it is the first in program history. Ohio State men's lacrosse took down the University of Michigan, got their first Big Ten title in program history.
I love it. And had to go through Michigan to do it.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
Ohio State greatness.
Absolutely, man. So congrats to Nick Meyer and the boys.
Retire their number.
Yep. Well, I don't know about that, but it was a good job out of them this past weekend. Reds won 2 out of 3 in Baltimore yesterday. I think I'm underselling the point that they plated 24 runs yesterday. It's the second most in Reds history in a largest defeat over an opponent. 22 being the run differential in that game. 24-2 was the final on that. They did win the series against Baltimore, 2 out of 3. They're down in South Florida tonight taking on the Marlins. And then Sharky Gardos sweeping the Pittsburgh Pirates at home. Big set against the Yanks tonight in the Torpedo Bats.
Yes, they've got the Yanks. They've got the Red Sox. They've got the Twins coming in, a 9-game homestand. They've played the second fewest home games so far this season in the major leagues. About time we get back up there into beautiful, balmy Cleveland.
You gonna go to any games before you retire? Or are you waiting?
I'm not. Mark, my son Mark, asked me yesterday if I wanted to go up to the Wednesday afternoon game, 1 o'clock start, and I said, in retirement, I'll do that every day of the week, but it's just too much, Beam. It's too much for me when I can't get my afternoon nap.
Well, you can have Mark drive, and then you can
nap. He would drive, but I'm not going to be able to sleep in the car. And then, you get home at 8, 9 o'clock, and I'm not built the way I used to be. When I could pull those all-nighters when I was in college. I can't do that now.
What's changed?
Age. I'm old.
You're not that old.
You wait. You just wait, my friend.
I don't have to wait. I hit 30, and all of a sudden, I need a full night's sleep to be able to function.
Thank you.
I feel you, Shark.
You can't operate on a lack of sleep?
Not like I used to. I used to be, you lay down and you get up and it just is what it is. But even when I've got to come in here to do this show with you, if I don't go to bed if I'm not in bed by 10, it's a tough ask. I'm on alarm number 5 before I actually snap out of my sleep. So I've felt the age creep up. Shark, this is incredibly off topic, but you said your son's name is Mark.
Yeah.
Do you have the opportunity to just play Baby Shark for your son and grandkids or anything like that?
The grandkids do. In fact, I am Mark Charles Howell Sr. My son is Mark Charles Howell II. And then I've got a grandson, Mark Charles Howell III, but he goes by Charlie.
That's fine. You're almost at my level, Shark.
Almost.
You guys have to have one more.
Michael Bennett IV. What's your middle name?
Michael
Bennett IV. All right, then I won't ask what your first name is.
I'm trying to get to the 8th someday. Get the line. I feel like if you get to the 8th, then that's like you're in British royalty levels.
You're like, that's multiple hundreds of years.
Yeah. That would be my goal sometimes. So I have to put, first of all, I'll have to have a kid. And then after that, I'll have to put a lot of pressure on them to carry on the legacy.
Well, at least it's a good name.
Yeah, thank you.
Like Michael Bennett V. Yeah. Good name.
Former Indians pitcher Oral Hershiser was Oral Hershiser IV, and he didn't extend it. He said, why would I want to give anybody that name? Oral
It's an awesome name. That's an awesome name.
I feel like there would be a lot of pressure if you were...
The 4th is a inflection
I feel like once
point.
you get to the 3rd, you have a really big decision to make on your hands.
I agree. And I think since my dad made the decision to carry it on to the 4th, like the 5th would be fun. I think that would be cool.
It's like a good sequence of a movie. See, like you get to 5 different movie iterations in one run. That's pretty good.
Who was that? Then you get to like Fast 5. You got to switch it up a little bit.
Yeah, Star Wars did 5. I mean, they've got 9.
That's what you're going to go with, the Star Wars?
Yeah.
They should have stopped after 6.
Shark doesn't even think they should have started that at all.
How dare you think they should have? You don't like Star Wars at all, or are you saying they shouldn't have done the prequels?
I saw the first one in the theater back in 1977, and I fell asleep.
All right. Well, next. I can't get behind that, Shark.
He's also never seen Lord of the Rings.
Honestly, I wasn't even going to bring it up, Brandon, because I was like, if he's not into Star Wars, then I bet he's going to say something disrespectful about Lord of the Rings. I'm going to have to walk out of here.
I can't say anything disrespectful. I've never seen it. I told Beam I would watch it in retirement.
Or we have to have a movie marathon, extended cuts only.
Yeah.
Extended. If you're watching Lord of the Rings and you're not watching extended cuts, you're doing it wrong.
I mean, you're already given 3 hours. May as well give 4 and change. Yeah. Get the director's cut in there.
Get a little more context to it.
How you feeling about your Cavs, Sharky? It was a nice game for them last night.
Yeah, I took Miami getting 12.5, and I took the over 115.5. Thank goodness I didn't parlay them because the Heat, they were down 6 or 7 most of the game, and then in the last 6 minutes they wound up losing by 21. But the Cavs looked good.
Yeah, they did.
Donovan, he missed the last, 5 games of the regular season. I don't know. I was a little nervous about the rest or rust. And he missed his first 5 3-pointers, but then he exploded and took over the game.
What about Ty Jerome? That was a nice explosion.
How about that?
Yeah.
Ty Jerome. And I don't know how many minutes he ended up playing, but I don't want to be dramatic and say they don't win that game without him, but he scored 16 points in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I mean, he was taking over.
Pretty darn good. By the way, Donovan Mitchell, 7th straight game 1 where he's scored at least 30 points. Only one other player has ever done that in NBA history. His name was Michael Jordan.
LeBron didn't even do that.
LeBron didn't do it. He did it twice. Michael had 7 game 1s where he scored 30 points.
Jeez. 2 7 consecutive streaks.
LeBron probably had a lot of 27-pointers.
Well, yeah, I know that, but 2 streaks of 7.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah. Well, I bet LeBron, he was always like 25, 27, at least for his first 7 years.
You could just, when you got into the playoffs, you knew exactly what his stat line was going to be.
Yeah.
It was going to be 27.
Same as the regular season. Yeah. Same as his whole career.
Isn't that remarkable?
27, 8, and 7.
Yeah, exactly. And sometimes, you'll get a triple-double. Sometimes he'll give you 40 points in a game. Yeah. But, it is almost 27, 8, and 7 every single night.
Yeah. Shark, I want to know, where are you getting the tattoo?
No tattoos on this body.
Not even if the Cavs?
My body's sacred.
I think you should get the tattoo. You're going into retirement. Go for the old biker look.
Mike,
a neck tat, man.
Yeah.
At one time, I considered getting Chief Wahoo. And thankfully, I did. Thankfully, I didn't do it. They'd call me a racist now if I had the chief on my calf.
Thank God you resisted the urge, Shark.
When were these conversations happening about you wanting to get that? What year?
The 2 times they got to Game 7 of the World Series.
Just a full back tat of Chief Wahoo.
Oh yeah.
Are you going to get it on a calf or a upper arm?
I was thinking calf. Yeah.
Okay.
I think you could get a Cavs logo with the 2024, 2025.
Yes, right on my forehead.
Yeah.
I think you should go for it. I'd respect it.
I'm telling you, dude, Adam's apple. Right here. That's what you need to get.
Yeah.
If you're going to get one, you may as well make it count. You got a couple on your arms. Just go with the face tat.
I
Just
know.
commit
I
to
got to
it.
go full body tat. I wanted to go, full Yakuza style at one point. But then I just ran out of ideas. I was like, all right, well.
How many times do you get asked, what do your tattoos mean?
Yeah, well, luckily for me, these aren't very, I don't know, they're pretty obvious. You know what I'm saying? They don't require a whole lot of context.
What does that one on your right arm mean?
Yeah,
what is that?
Just a trophy.
Yeah.
So it's pretty straightforward. But yeah, I'm waiting for it, Shark. When they win it all, you got to get it before they win it, or else you're not a real believer.
Is that true?
Beam's got 6 Bears Super Bowl tats waiting each year.
I know I have them.
You know what? I'm not very confident. I'm not going to lie to you.
Why, Boston scare you that much?
Yeah. And if they don't scare me, Oklahoma City does.
Are the Lakers scary?
Not this year.
No. Even with Luka?
I know, but they got
even with Bronny James,
they got clobbered by Minnesota at home in Game 1.
That happens.
That'll snap them out of it.
That happens. Yeah, they'll be all right. I think they'll win it all.
Hey, we got good news. No more fake injuries in college football. That's next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. 2 issues on the southeast side. The first on 270 southbound as you're hitting 33. We've got the right lanes blocked off over there. And then Hamilton Road just north of 33, also on the southeast side. Traffic slow in both directions due to a crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for mouth-watering meals and appetizing ingredients. Our low prices add up to big savings, plus over $600 in digital coupons each week, and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. At Kroger, you always get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
You can save big on 12 packs of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties or buy 2, get 3 free with your card. Limit 10. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Stanley spent his life in the saddle, wrangling whatever life threw at him. But nothing prepared him for the fight against low T and ED. Shame practically hunched him over. Online pills just gave him a headache. He begged for a lifeline.
Well, maybe it's over.
Columbus Men's Clinic said no. Medical conditions, old age, there's hope. This is about real treatments. Science, not one-size-fits-all guesswork. Columbus Men's Clinic was designed for men who hate going to the doctor. Personalized plans, cutting-edge treatments, overseen by an actual medical provider that takes the time to listen. With low T and ED treatments others only dream about, we fight like hell to get you back in the saddle. Because every second you wait, your condition could worsen. Act now. Don't let time slip away. Dial 614-300-7400 or go to columbusmensclinic.com. Your consultation is only $99, including blood work. And you'll know your T level before you leave. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
If you're like most Americans, you've racked up tens of thousands in credit card debt. You're stuck with 20% interest fees, and even the monthly payments, well, they're hard to make. It's insane. Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. The good news is that there is a way out. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Advantage First Lending. They specialize in fast, easy access to the equity in your home. Most homeowners have hundreds of thousands of dollars in their home equity. That's your money. AFLcash.com can get it out for you with zero junk fees and zero hassle. You can pay off all those credit cards in just a matter of days. Pay off your car loans too. Cut your monthly expenses by $800 or even $900. I'm telling you, the relief you need, well, it's right there at your fingertips. AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Break out of the credit card debt prison with AFLcash.com.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Reds fans, we're off to the races. Assemble your pit crew and cheer on your Reds at the 2025 MLB Speedway Classic at Bristol Motor Speedway on Saturday, August 2nd. Tickets are on sale now to watch your Reds shift into high gear when they face off against the Atlanta Braves during this special showcase at one of racing's most iconic tracks. For tickets and more information, visit reds.com/Bristol.
All your favorite and least favorite fan shows are available wherever you get your podcasts. Just type in 971 The Fan to the search bar and hit that subscribe button. It's free.
We're the land of the free and the home of the sunburnt, freckled fat guy.
Do it now.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Help DEA keep our communities safe and healthy by participating in National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, Saturday, April 26th. Take action right in your own home by cleaning out your medicine cabinet of unneeded medications. Keep them safe, clean them out, take them back. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent prescription drug misuse before it starts. That's DEATakeback.com.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
Chances of showers and thunderstorms this morning, some which could be strong. Otherwise, we clear out as we go into the second half of the day, and temperatures soar into the upper 70s with breezy winds. Partly cloudy tonight with lows around 50, and then for your Tuesday, a lot more sunshine in the forecast and highs in the low 70s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 weather impact forecast.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. Bobby is known as the General. Beamer is known as Beamer. This is Morning Juice.
Coming up here 7:30 this morning, Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle. He's going to join us, talk some Buckeyes in the NFL draft. You got one guy who you're more looking forward to or just interest level from Ohio State in the draft this year? I mean, I know that we talked to Bill Bender a little bit earlier, and you said Tyleek. Donovan Jackson is another one of interest to you.
Yeah, Quinshawn. I think he's an incredible talent, and I really am curious to see what NFL teams want to do with him, because I don't think he's a prototypical running back. Mm-hmm. I think, like I said, he's a Curtis Samuel type who
smooth runner.
You can put him in a lot of different places. He's not like I don't know how big he's not a power back, but he's powerful. He's not a speed back, but he's fast. So I don't know what teams will want to do with him. So I'm curious what they do. And then honestly, like I said, Will Howard, I think the kid's got a lot of talent. I think he's going to have a good career. I'm curious to see in a draft like this where the quarterbacks aren't what we've seen in the past, where he'll go.
Yeah, and we also don't know anything about quarterbacks, right? I mean, the hit rate on them it's such a scattershot.
I know quite a bit about quarterbacks, Brandon.
All right, just go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm with you. I think it really depends on a quarterback's career. Really depends on where they get picked up.
100%. So timing and situation,
and that's why I say for him, like everybody wants to be a first rounder, a second rounder. I think for Will Howard's career, I think it will serve him better to fall in this draft. And I know that's ridiculous. I'm hoping for his success, but this is one of those positions particularly where I've always been a big proponent that it's better to learn behind a veteran for 2 to 3 years. Like Justin Fields, I think he was an incredible talent. I think it was tough for him to get thrown into the situation he was in. And then now he's playing catch up and everybody's questioning, does he have it? Does he have it? That's a guy that we've seen the athleticism, the decision-making, the arm on him. It's incredible, but he just got thrown into the fire too early.
Yeah, and that's a bad organization to go to, too.
It's a tough organization to go to.
Graveyard of quarterbacks.
Ironically, there's a lot of tough organizations to go to as a quarterback. You really kind of have to get lucky. So those are the guys that I'm looking at the most. Just because I think that Will Howard is somebody we could see in the league for 15, 17 years if he goes to the right place.
Here's all the mock drafts for Will Howard. Highest that they have him going in any of the mock drafts. Again, Matt and Dan of 11 Warriors kind of chronicled all of this. The highest Will Howard is projected to go is the 40th pick in the draft, which would be right at the beginning of the second round, to the New Orleans Saints. So that would be the highest that he's got. There's a couple of Jets in there, Jets picks with the 3rd round, 5th round pick. There's a couple of Raiders picks in there. There's a couple of Steelers picks in there. Interesting one for me is this one is round number 3, pick number 90, Mel Kiper and Field Yates, picking him to go to the Los Angeles Rams. You want to talk about ideal spot?
Yeah.
Possibly for Will Howard? Look no further than that.
I can see that.
That's a great position. And I know that Sean McVay, and he's talked about retiring, and they're obviously going through a lot of different things. They bring in Devontae Adams. They keep Matt Stafford this offseason. They're still living in a post-Aaron Donald world and trying to figure out themselves. I mean, you have to think, though, they're a drive away in the driving snow against the Philadelphia Eagles to come back and win that game. The Eagles won the Super Bowl. They are right there. Would be ideal landing spot for me if I'm Will Howard.
100%. And the Rams are going to remain competitors. They're going to have to keep rebuilding. I don't even think it's worth trying to replace Aaron Donald. You just kind of have to figure out how your team works without him. But learning behind Matt Stafford would be great for Will. I think that team really values quarterback play and quarterback growth. So I think that would be ideal. I'm with you. Even the Steelers would be a great landing spot for him. I don't know if he'd be expected to
behind Aaron
Rodgers.
Mm-hmm.
Stop it.
Well, we still don't know what's going on with him.
I can't. Don't get me started on Aaron Rodgers.
That's your guy, man. What are you talking about?
Don't get me started on him. But learning behind, I don't know. If you had said like 5 years ago, learning behind Aaron Rodgers, okay,
worked out well for Jordan Love.
Yeah, but I think
so far,
yeah, 100%. I think though, if you were Will Howard trying to learn behind Aaron Rodgers, you'd be like, let's go do some ayahuasca. Let's go do some ivermectin. I don't know if that's
hop in the darkness retreat with me.
Yeah,
Will. Let's grow together.
I don't know if he's the mentor you need at the moment. Like I said, 5 years ago, probably, but yeah, I don't know if I would want to stake my career to Aaron Rodgers right now.
We got some new rule changes coming to college football in 2025, including a timeout penalty to stop players from faking injuries. Are you a big fake an injury guy? Like that?
Fake them all the time.
So Ole Miss was noted for this the last couple of years, and we've all seen it. You've seen it happen, right? I mean, offense is getting the plays in. You're running down. They're not making substitutions. All of a sudden, you're looking to the sideline.
Yeah.
You got some coach over there tapping his head. Go down, stay down. That way you're able to at least get a little bit of a respite when a team is going high-tempo offense. So a single timeout is what they're looking at. The new injury timeout rule will cost a team one of its 3 timeouts per half if a player goes down to injury after the ball has been spotted for the next play and medical personnel enter the field.
I just wonder, if that kid, I don't know, if it's a real injury or you're penalizing them for a real injury. Because I get that, a lot of these teams, a lot of these players are trying to slow down these these fast offenses. And honestly, a lot of times you just get tired and you want to just stop the play for a little while. They already had this rule for the most part, I think, in 2 minutes. But yeah, sometimes guys get hurt. Sometimes you don't. It's sometimes a question of, all right, can I play the next play?
Sure.
And you've got to make a decision all right, can I tough it out? But when they're going fast, you might not make that decision until they're about to line up and you're like, I can't run this play.
I can't do it. I've tried everything I can to get myself into a situation where I can play the snap, and now I can't.
It's one of those questions, when they come back, I don't know how you police it, because it's not like soccer. When soccer, when they go down and they're faking it, they're faking it for the most part. There aren't a lot of big injuries in soccer. In football, there are a lot of big injuries. So I get the feeling behind it. It's really frustrating to see guys game the system a lot. So, we'll see how this plays out. But I can't imagine you lose an integral player who's on the field during, these no-huddle offenses, and then you also lose a timeout or you get a delay game penalty. That's just, insult to injury.
Yeah, so if you are out of timeouts and this situation arises, it's the 5-yard delay of game penalty, which the offense would gain 5 yards.
Yeah.
They're trying something. I don't know if it's fixing anything. I feel like you can still game this system, and you're going to be penalizing teams for real injuries for when they occur.
Yeah, we're going to have to see, because, I didn't watch much Mississippi, so I don't know how often they were just having a guy take a knee to stop the play. I can imagine that it's really frustrating for other teams. You're trying to get people to make sure that they play within the bounds of the rules. But football's not one of those sports where you can take injuries lightly. Like, a lot of times it is more serious than the guys let on. So if they go down, like, maybe it's one of those things. I don't know how you do like a delayed penalty where if they come back on in the next play, then it's
then you kill him for the timeout.
Yeah,
I don't know.
But if a guy gets hurt and then he's out of the game for the next like 2 quarters or for the rest of the game, and you also took a timeout from him.
Yeah, do you retroactively give them the timeout back?
Yeah, I don't. So we'll see how that goes.
Other changes coming to college football: the change to timeout allotment during overtime rules, which thankfully this is going away. Was it Georgia Tech last year? Do you remember that? I think it was over Thanksgiving weekend. They went into like 8 overtimes, and they had just refill of timeouts beginning each and every overtime. Like, just play the game.
Just play the game.
They have fixed that. So after the third overtime, you just get 1 timeout the rest of the way, and that's it.
I think that's fair.
That is plenty.
Yeah.
Plenty.
Those games were going forever.
Yeah, and all you're doing is a 2-point conversion, too. Like, know the play. You don't need to see what the defense is in or see what the offense is in. Call a timeout. I mean, I understand it because the rule is there.
But it's too much gamesmanship.
Take advantage of the rule. If you're getting unlimited timeouts and overtimes, that is fine.
Yeah, and those coaches, if you're given a timeout, you take the timeout. That's just rule number 1 of coaching, is you're not going to leave a timeout on the board in a crunch time situation. So I think the NCAA is right for just taking the timeout away.
We got the Dan Lanning rule that's kicking into effect as well. We're very aware of that. What happened between Ohio State and Oregon out in Autzen at the very end of the game out there, the first time Ohio State played Oregon. If a defense goes through a play in the final 2 minutes with 12 players, like Oregon did, it will be a 5-yard penalty, and the offense will have the option to reset the game clock. Remember, going back to that situation, game clock was not reset. It killed off more time, even though Oregon had 12 guys on the football field. Mm-hmm. That is a big one.
Yeah, I'm glad they identified that one as an issue, because that was really frustrating to watch. And it was, it's once again, good gamesmanship. These coaches and these programs are getting really intelligent. They're hiring like NCAA lawyers to figure out what the rules are, how we can skirt the rules. So the NCAA is going to have to be a little quicker with it and try to figure out what the loopholes in their own rules are and try to shore those up.
And they even fixed that right after the Oregon-Ohio State game last year. They're like, all right, we can't have teams doing this. And then they went and they literally wrote it into rule like for the rest of the season. So that was one that they quickly got advantage of. But now it is officially in the rule books. I mean, you could be an analyst for one of these teams. Just trying to pick out all the different rules and what unique ways to take advantage of it.
I think it'd be fun. It's like a chess match. Just, it's football. Football's a chess match, but you just get to really get into the meat of the rules. That's what these games turn on.
Yeah.
Is finding out how you can get around some rules, how you can exploit. Where can you find the gap in the rule to give you an advantage in that, crunch time play. To go ahead and get a win.
It's draft week. Tony Gerdeman at Buckeye Huddle. He's going to join us. We'll talk about some potential landing spots for the Buckeyes later this week. Coming up with him in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still tracking 2 separate issues on the southeast side. 270 southbound at 33. We've got crews on scene and the right lanes blocked off. And then Hamilton Road on the southeast side as well, just north of 33. Watch for crews clearing a crash and traffic slow in both directions. Make it a great day. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Enjoy rates lower than the national average, plus special rates on balance transfers with a Visa Platinum or Visa with Rewards credit card from BMI Federal Credit Union. Apply today at bmifcu.org/visa.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hey guys, let's talk ED, because millions of men experience it, but not everyone can access or afford treatments like Viagra. Well, Hims can help. Through Hims.com, you can get a full range of treatment options for ED, including daily or as-needed meds through a 100% online process. It all starts with an online intake form. Get started at hims.com/joy, and from there, a medical provider licensed in your state will determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. Find the ED treatment that fits your needs with options up to 95% less than the brand names. Millions of men experience ED, but Hims can help. To start your free online visit and save up to 95%, go to hims.com/joy. That's hims.com/joy for your free online visit. HIMS.com/JOY.
Care Heating and Cooling. Honest technicians, honest pricing.
Call 1-800-COOLING.
Earn $200 when you spend $2,000 in the first 90 days with a new Visa from Kemba Financial Credit Union. Plus, pay 0% APR on balances transferred in the first 90 days for 15 months. Visit Kemba.org. Restrictions apply. APR equals annual percentage rate. Offer ends June 30th, 2025. Equal opportunity lender.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Counting down the days until Shark's retirement. You are listening to Morning Juice.
81 days, if you're keeping track at home, for Sharky.
He's getting here quick.
On his retirement tour. Right now, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems fan guest hotline. Check with our guy. He is a Buckeye Huddle, Tony Gerdeman. Gerd, thanks for the time. Always appreciate it. We've got draft week coming up here. Mike and I have been talking about this morning, just interesting Buckeyes who you're kind of looking at. You got one guy that stands out to you more than the rest about interest when it comes to this week's NFL draft?
You know, I think I'm interested to see what happens with Travion Henderson, with a bunch of people talking about him having the possibility to have an impact like Jahmyr Gibbs, and how everybody thought Detroit overdrafted Gibbs and how effective he's been for them. And that's some of the things that Travion can do, catching the ball and just explosive plays. So I'm interested to see how much, he sneaks up the draft. And, is somebody going to grab a Mecca, in the 20s, or does he fall because some of the other receivers maybe are, quote unquote, more explosive or something like that? Because I don't think anybody's more productive than that guy. But those are two of the guys I'm interested in seeing. And then really, how can any of these guys sneak in? How many of these guys sneak into the first round, or what happens if they dip into the second, and then how far do they continue to dip, basically?
Thanks for joining us, Tony. We haven't talked much about these guys, but this time last year, these two were on the top of my mind of where they might go in the draft when it was time for them to go. Could you talk to us about JTT and Jack Sawyer? Give me an idea of where you think they'll go in the draft, and like what teams could really value them. I'm very curious about where they might land.
Well, and the thing is with JT, like, he's always been viewed as a future first rounder, and I don't know that that's necessarily the case now. And but like he seems like one of these guys with a very high floor. You know what you're going to get. You're going to get production. You're going to get consistency, and you know what you're going to get. So I think there's value in that. And, maybe a team that already has some depth there, but we'll be losing some of that depth, or some of those, whether it's a young guy approaching his first contract extension, and you're like, well, we don't know if we want to continue with that guy. Let's bring somebody in who can learn for a year. I'm interested to see with Jack, is he, are there 3-4 teams looking at him to play like an outside linebacker type of thing, which I think he can do, and I think he'd be comfortable doing that. But JT Tuimoloau, I was working a little bit of some of that in practice with Jim Knowles, working like a bear front and getting some of these guys out on the edge at times. So I think, probably second round for both of those guys. I know there's some people that say they wouldn't be surprised if Jack Sawyer sneaks into the first round, just because of you see the way that he's made plays in the moments, and I think there's values there, like the intangible value of being able to step up like that in big moments. Some teams like, but yeah, I'm interested to see where they end up and what kind of situation and how relied upon are they as rookies, because when you draft anymore, it seems like if you draft somebody in the top 4 rounds, you want them to start.
Gerd, when you look at this Ohio State draft class, it is unique. I mean, there are 15 guys who went to the combine, and all 15 guys have been projected to go in the draft. We'll see if they can get that 16th and then break the record for schools with players drafted from one school. But when you're talking about like top-end number in the first round for guys who you think from Ohio State could go in the draft, what do you think that number is, or how wide do you think that number ranges?
I think everybody expects Josh Simmons to go. I mean, he's been invited to the draft. Wouldn't be shocked if Emeka goes, and the way people talk about Travion Henderson. And then, Tyleik Williams could sneak in there as well. If he played at Georgia, he'd end up at Philadelphia somehow. But I think the possibility of 4 wouldn't be shocked if it's only 1, and then there's a run on Buckeyes in the second round at some point. There's always a run on the position where there's like 5 tight ends drafted in 16 spots. Wouldn't be shocked if there's a run on Buckeyes in the second round, but it's almost like it's not a disappointment, because you looked at this 2021 class and you saw a bunch of what you would expect to be future first rounders, and if none of them other than like Marvin Harrison ends up being that, it's like, gosh, what a disappointment. But it's also like, well, they did just win a national championship, so it's not that much of a disappointment. And second round is not the worst thing. They get to their second contract sooner, but I think 4 is probably the top end, and I'm not necessarily expecting that, because that's being optimistic on just about everybody other than Simmons.
So we've talked about Will a little bit today and trying to figure out, where is he going to go? Is he going to be an early pick? Is he going to fall a little bit? I want to think more about, if you have some insight into what teams do you think are going to target Will Howard, because like you had mentioned, any of these early picks, they're expecting him to start right away. And I think Will could do it. I don't think it's in his best interest. So in your mind, what's a good landing spot for Will Howard?
Yeah, that's a good question, because I'm still confused as to why he's not seen as more of one of the top quarterbacks, and I think maybe he's building towards that. But yeah, what's a good spot? I remember and Craig Krenzel as a rookie started like 5 games for the Bears, which was you wouldn't have expected that as like a 5th round pick, and that was not a great situation for a quarterback. Will Howard will be able to pick up whatever offense he goes into, but I don't know that anybody that drafts him is already going to have their starter on board, and then is it just what's that contract situation of that guy? So I think if you draft Will Howard in the first couple of rounds, first 3 rounds is what I would expect, then you're seeing that guy, you're seeing Will Howard as your future starter. So what is it? Do you want him to start in year 2 or year 3? Then that's what the starting quarterback's contract is going to look like to me. Or, the way they can just cut guys anymore, and it is what it is. And the other rookie contracts of quarterbacks and of other players is really nothing, nothing harmful when you just swallow up those contracts. So I think somebody that has maybe not an established guy, but a guy that they already know is going to be the starter, and then in a year or 2, then they can become a full-blown competition.
Mm-hmm. He is Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Any movement from the transfer portal, part 2, from the Buckeyes, Gerd, and maybe looking and identifying new defensive linemen that they have been rumored to be in the sweepstakes for?
Yeah, I think that's the focus, is the defensive line, even though Ryan Day said after the spring game that they're still too short on the offensive line as well. So as they try to get to this 105 number, it'll be interesting to see what positions they target. But I think North Carolina defensive end Bo Atkinson is still supposed to visit today. And last year he had 7.5 sacks, which is what Caden Curry and Kenyatta Jackson have in their career. So if they can get somebody like that just to bolster the lineup, and not just bolster it, but maybe get into it, I think that would be big. Murad Watson, the Syracuse defensive tackle, who started, I think, 11 games last year as a true freshman, is, there's some interest there. And, I don't know how much, but that's a guy. I think defensive tackle is the one spot where they could certainly use it, and that's where they should look for more help, even though they've got a lot of bodies, but nobody's really stepped up into the 2 deep behind Caden McDonald and Edric Houston at this point. So I think it's a difficult ask to go into the portal and be like, hey, we're not necessarily looking for a starter, and I know you started 11 games last year. Well, are you interested in 25 snaps a game? When this is all everybody's being bid on and promised things. So it's a tough ask, and you got to ask the right kind of guy.
Tell me Bo Atkinson didn't like playing for Bill Belichick down in Chapel Hill, Gerd?
It's amazing watching everybody just run out of there. And I mean, they brought in like 30 guys, and they lost like 25. And it's probably a good thing for North Carolina that there's not a summer transfer portal window. After some of these guys get there, and they're like, I don't like it here. So, yeah.
Don't they have Bill Belichick's girlfriend like helping out?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she's doing a nice PR job.
I don't know.
Should be a fun season.
I don't think it's going. Yeah, I don't think it's going all that well though.
Gerd, before we get you out of here, what else is on tap for the Buckeyes as they kind of get into this quiet portion now of the offseason?
I think this is where all of the quarterbacks have to kind of continue to establish themselves as leader and get those throwing sessions together and build up the rapport with the receivers. And then you've also got the true freshmen that didn't enroll. Not that there's a lot of them, maybe 4 or 5 of them that are going to get here in a few months, but the rest of the freshmen got to continue to be brought along by the veterans. And that's something that everybody that is a veteran now has had done for them. So I think you've got this culture built that. And it's not self-sustaining, but everybody knows how to operate in it. And so I think that's what this summer is going to be, just continuing to build a culture and realize that this team hasn't won anything, so they got to get back to doing what they did last year in order to make that happen again.
Gerd, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us here this morning. Have a fantastic draft week, and we'll check in again soon, all right?
Absolutely. You guys have a good one.
You too. There he goes. Our good friend, Tony Gerdeman of Buckeye Huddle with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Lots to be juiced about on this Monday. We do that next. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still watching crews on the southeast side at the 270-33 split, clearing out a crash from earlier this morning. And drivers in Gahanna 270 northbound, we've got the left lane blocked off just past 62. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your fan traffic.
Okay, so I'm going to let you in on a little secret. Wendy's has this new Cajun Crunch chicken sandwich. And to be honest, I'm kind of crushing hard on this Sammy. It's packed with bold Cajun flavors and topped with crispy onions for a satisfying crunch. All on Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich. It's honestly kind of my dream sandwich. I hope it likes me back. For a sandwich you'll love, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
Men over 40, struggling with low energy, not feeling like yourself? Low T Center's testosterone replacement therapy is the solution. Get started today. Visit one of our conveniently located clinics, meet a medical provider, and get back to feeling your best. This April only, the consultation is free. Treatment is tailor-made just for you and is covered by most major insurance. Get treated at our centers or from home. Why wait? Book your appointment now at lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com.
There's a new way to surround yourself with savings at Giant Eagle and Market District. Shop Giant Eagle's uncompromising quality at a reliable price with everyday savings. Look for signs throughout the store to find bargains on produce, meat, and more. Visit Giant Eagle to see how easy it is to save.
Do you realize making the minimum monthly payments on your credit cards, it'll take nearly 20 years to pay them off? What if I told you there's a way for you to get them all paid off in just a matter of weeks? Hey, it's Bobby Carpenter. Imagine wiping out all of your credit cards. Here's where you go. AFLcash.com. That's AFLcash.com. Advantage First Lending is the easy button for tapping in to hundreds of thousands of dollars in your home equity. That's not the bank money, it's your money. Listen, your home, the value is way up. And now AFLcash.com has a super fast, hassle-free program that lets you turn that equity into cash. People do this are living their best life, their credit card debt free, with cash left over for other stuff like home improvements, maybe a vacation. See how much money you can get now. Go to AFLcash.com or call 844-394-CASH. That's 844-394-CASH. Say goodbye to greedy credit card companies. That's AFLcash.com.
Equal Housing Lender, NMLS 1209177. Subject to lender approval. NMLSconsumeraccess.org.
Rosati Windows, the best buying experience in the business.
I realize that people have options when choosing replacement windows, so I appreciate each and every customer. Before you make a decision, you owe it to yourself to see what makes us different. Our prices are competitive, we react quickly to service issues, and we control every decision that goes into building and installing our top quality products. We're just able to take better care of our customers.
Call Rosati Windows today, 777-4806.
In-betweens are made for pizza. In between meals, meetings, thoughts, that's pizza time. Stop at Speedway and get 2 hot, delicious slices of pizza and a Mountain Dew 20-ounce for $5 with Speedy Rewards. The convenience stores of Speedway. Valid through 4/29/25. See app for full terms.
This promo is for anyone who likes baseball or America or Terry Francona's scooter. The Reds are on the Fan. Catch all 162 games here on the Fan and 1460 ESPN Columbus and the Fan's HD2. Your home for Reds baseball, the Fan.
Progressive presents Employee of the Month. Small Business Edition. Today's recipient from the Kayla's Mobile Spa,
Michaela! Michaela got a quick business insurance quote from Progressive and chose from over 30 customizable coverages. Sure, it helps she's her only employee and does literally everything. But while others would rest on their laurels, Michaela was hard at work saving big. So take that, hypothetical other employee who doesn't exist. Be your own Michaela. See if you could save in as little as 7 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Coverage is not available in all states or for all vehicles and coverage selections.
A SoFi Personal Loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right, pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi Personal Loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply, NMLS 696891.
All your favorite fan shows are available when you want them.
Head to 971thefan.com and hit that subscribe button.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. You're listening to Rob Manfred's least favorite radio show. This is Morning Juice.
Hey, you can join us here at The Fan Saturday, June 21st. It's a couple of months away from today. Westerville for the inaugural 971 The Race. You can register at 971therace.com. You can join Common Man, T-Bone, Tyvis Powell on June 21st for a day of activities, food, and live music. The race includes a 1-mile walk/run, 5K fun run, and if you're a total psycho, the 9.71-kilometer run. Come out, do some moving, and hang out with us on June 21st. Again, June 21st out in Westerville. Head to 971therace.com to register and for more information.
What's got you juiced?
Sponsored by Newman Roofing. Call Newman Roofing today at 614-NEW-ROOF or visit online at newmanroofing.com.
Mike, it's a big Monday coming off the Easter weekend. It's got you fired up, buddy.
I told you earlier, I went home back to Dayton, Ohio, back to Centerville to see my dad over Easter, and I had to get some donut holes. So as we speak, I've got 5 dozen donut holes sitting in the passenger seat of my car, warming up in the sun. I'm going to take them into the office. I'm going to tell people at the office I have 3 dozen donut holes, but I haven't touched one of them. I haven't touched them yet, but I'm pretty excited.
That's some pretty amazing willpower.
I appreciate it. I'm doing my best. You know, I'm on my fitness journey. Haven't lost a pound in 2 weeks, but I've been working out every day.
Tell the folks what you've been doing.
I got a row machine.
All right.
So I've been hitting the row machine every single day, try to get 5,000, 6,000 meters in. And that's a nice little workout. It took me at least a week before my body could row for like more than 10 minutes consecutively. It was, my body was not ready for physical fitness. But now, you know, like I said, 3 weeks in, I'm feeling good. I can hit a good 6,000 meter session. Haven't lost a pound. But
that'll come.
You can't chase the weight. You got to chase the habits, and the weight will follow.
Hey, I think as soon as you have these 2 dozen donut holes, you'll immediately lose 5 pounds.
I don't know. I think something will happen.
It's just so easy to crush 20 of those bad boys on the drive back from Dayton to Columbus, too. That's a nice job.
You asked me the forbidden question is how many calories are in a donut hole?
We've been friends for forever. I think this is the first time this has ever come up in conversation. I don't think we have not mentioned it before. Shark, have I brought in Bill's donut holes for you before?
No.
Wow,
never.
Shark.
You've never brought anything in for me.
Oh, stop it.
What?
Brandon, you've never shared the love of Bill's donut holes with Shark?
Did I just bring you over like the Christmas holiday? I brought you guys something, you and Bob both, some cookies or something.
Short memory.
Hey, you know what? The best part is, Shark, that you can have some donut holes today. I'm offering you Michael's donut holes.
Is your car unlocked?
Shark, I would be happy to give you a couple donut holes if you want them. I think that one of the greatest things, I love sharing Bill's donut holes with people. Listeners, if you know anybody from the Centerville, Dayton, Kettering area, ask them, why haven't you given me Bill's donut holes before? It's sharing a piece of home.
It is. I know. I must be selfish in that. And I try not to go because I know the dangers that involve with the Bill's donut holes. And also you have to go at the right time of day because then you could stand in that line for up to an hour.
Yeah. For every 4 dozen that you give away, you eat 2 dozen.
Correct.
So it's a dangerous balance.
That's the math on that. Sharky, what's Schleg's got to say today?
You guys be proud of me. I cold turkey got off the nicotine. And I tell you what, I miss it every second that I'm not having it. Dadgummit. I'm doing good. I'm drinking more coffee. So I stopped nicotine. That helps because I go to sleep better. I don't do electronics. I put the phone away and I go to sleep. That's what I do. I just get rid of all the distractions and I just go to sleep. And now I sleep better.
If you don't have dip in while you're sleeping, then I don't think you'd have a hard time sleeping, would you?
Is he sleeping with a lip in?
It kind of sounded like it.
I know people who would do that, and that's intense. I think when you've gotten to the point where you go to sleep with a dip in, that's time to look yourself in the mirror and
just say, let's give this up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got too much of a hold on you.
Wake up with bad breath, too, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
Don't kiss your wife first thing in the morning when you get the dip in. I'm juiced that the Guardians swept the Pirates this weekend. It was not easy because Emmanuel Clase kept trying to blow leads.
What's his deal?
I don't know. He gave up 5 runs all of last season. He's already given up 9 runs this season. It's pretty crazy.
Trade him.
I think he had a .61 ERA last year. This year it's like 7.9.
Sounds like he got comfortable.
Yeah. But anyway, Cleveland already has 3 shutouts this season. They shut out Paul Skeens the other day,
Yeah,
won
they did.
3-0 against Skeens, which is no easy task. He only struck out 4 Guardians. So, hey, 3 shutouts in the first 21 games. We're on pace for 23 shutouts this season. That's pretty darn good.
Will you get to that number?
No, not a chance.
I think this would be a great time to throw a bet in for it.
No. Nope. I don't bet on things like that, Mike.
Why not?
I'm a very conservative gambler. $5 bets. I put $10 on the Cavs to win the East. All right? I can win $95.
When did you do that?
November.
Okay.
Think of it like this, Shark. If you put $1,000 on the Cleveland Guardians getting 23 shutouts, probably right now you could probably win a lot.
Yeah.
But you'd only lose $1,000 over the course of, and if you spread that out over the course of a year, it's still $1,000, but it's like $100 a month.
First of all, do you think there's actually a gambling site where I can make that bet?
100%. What? I thought you could do like just really obscure bets.
Create your own bet?
Yeah,
That would be fun.
Yeah.
That's a nice
Do
feature.
they not do that? I don't gamble on sports. I don't gamble in general.
But
So
I
I
am
don't
willing
know.
to give you advice.
It's your money, not mine. But I thought you could make bets on just about anything. But I don't know.
I
how
bet
it
there's a
works.
couple. Hey, Shark. I bet there's a couple of people here that know some people that you could put that bet.
Well,
down.
yeah.
maybe
some
not in an
people,
official
not-
capacity,
right.
but
Anyway, I was looking at it last night. I hadn't looked at it in months, and right now I can cash out at like $28.
oh no way
To
No
win
way.
the East. To win the NBA championship, I put $10 on that, and I can win $200, and that's up to like $28, $29. I'm about ready to cash out.
Yeah, buy
'Cause
yourself a
I don't
nice
think
little
they're going to win.
Nice little Five Guys cheeseburger.
Was good to see the Cavs, though, that Ty Jerome, we talked about him earlier, one of the finalists for the NBA's Sixth Man Award, which is pretty cool. Only 3 guys are up for that, and I thought he might get overlooked because he's been such a no-name for the first 5 years of his career, and then this year he just exploded. So good to see that. Scored 28 points last night. 3rd most points by a Cavalier player in franchise history in their playoff debut.
Okay.
Behind only LeBron and Kyrie. That's pretty good company. Right
2
there.
other guys are pretty good.
Yeah, and then I enjoyed a nice beef stroganoff lunch yesterday.
That's
at
a
Napa.
power lunch with it being 75 degrees out.
Yeah, and I went to church yesterday. Normally our church has 2 services, 9:30 or 11. I go to the 9:30 service, but because it was Easter, they added a 3rd service at 8 o'clock. And to entice people to go to, because nobody's going to go at 8 o'clock, to entice people to go to the 8 o'clock service, they gave us Krispy Kreme donuts when we walked in the door. So I had a couple of Krispy Kremes in the 8 o'clock service, and then I went and ate some beef stroganoff for lunch.
That's a great day.
At Napa.
What'd you
in
have for
Dublin.
dinner?
I didn't eat any dinner. Beamer, what has you juiced?
Like Mike, I was down in Dayton this past weekend hanging out. It was Meredith's brother's birthday yesterday as well. So we were doing birthday and Easter celebration.
Born the same day as Hitler.
Yes. So was Matt Andrews. Matt Andrews also had a birthday yesterday. So big happy birthday to Matty A. Had a tough weekend up in East Lansing against Sparty. Baseball team did not fare so well up there. But yeah, happy birthday to Matt Andrews. Happy birthday to Michael, Meredith's brother. And we were getting ready. I mean, you know this, Shark. It's like a shot clock. Like I'm looking at the time. I'm like, it's 3:30. We need to get these wheels in motion so that we can return home in a timely manner and have the evening to get ourselves ready for the week here. And like prying William away from his cousins was just impossible. Like, all right, dude, say goodbye, give him a hug. And he's like, nope, don't want to go anywhere. So, I mean, it takes 30 to 40 minutes just to get the wheels in motion to get ready to leave. But we were getting ready to have birthday cakes. We coaxed them upstairs from playing in the basement with like a train set to upstairs. They had a birthday cake. We were getting ready to sing happy birthday. And then your girl, Kelly, flipped the birthday cake on its head.
No way.
It fell on the ground. We saved it in like 2 seconds. So we were able to get it off the ground and back up to the counter. We all enjoyed the birthday cake still. We did have that. There may have been some dog hair that we were just trying to pluck out, but we gave that piece to William anyway, since he just eats stuff off the ground.
Immune system.
It's fine.
Yeah.
So I had a great time in Dayton this week and getting to see some family and some birthday and Easter celebrations had me all fired up. I'll tell you what didn't have me fired up, the crew. They stunk over the weekend. That's next. Morning Juice right here in the Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, still watching crews on the southeast side at that 270-33 split. Crews clearing out an issue from earlier this morning. And in Gahanna, 270 northbound, the left lane blocked off just past Johnstown Road. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Fan Traffic is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com.
Hey, spring is here, and nobody wants to suffer through another spring, summer, fall, not being able to do the things you love. Get outside, walk around with friends, go to your kids' games, go to your grandkids' games. Maybe you want to go bike. Maybe you want to play some pickleball, some tennis, some golf, whatever it is. Those are the activities you'll love to do. And maybe you're in intense pain. Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. That was me. That was my dad. And so you want to know what we did? We went and saw the medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus, Ohio. They're on the case, and they're going to get you the relief just like they did for us. For me, it was my knee. I had some issues from playing. They helped it out. For my dad, it was his other knee. They helped him out. But whether it's a hip, a shoulder, or back, you won't miss a beat. There's no surgery, and there's no long recovery. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They'll give you your life back without harmful meds. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus and find out the easiest path for you. They've got 2 new locations in Canal, Winchester, and Grove City, so give them a call at 380-208-4544.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more locally grown goodness to life with a farm-fresh selection of crisp vegetables and juicy, ready-to-eat fruit. Whether topping off kebabs on the grill or adding healthy color to a leafy green salad, your family will definitely enjoy the delicious taste of Meijer produce. Plus, you'll appreciate the selection and savings we have to offer. That's the fresh-picked good life, priced for real life. We work hard to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
I'm Wilson from that other window place. Wait, Leslie, what is that dude doing over there at that window?
Well, that dude is Chase, and Chase is making that window look perfect. We're sticklers on detail, Wilson, both in our showroom and definitely in people's homes.
Chase, be careful. May have spilled some coffee over there just a bit ago.
Oh, he knows. He seems to work a lot more when you're around, Wilson. Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Thinking about buying your first home? Now, with Third Federal, you can buy your first home and pay no PMI. Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. Private mortgage insurance, or PMI, can cost thousands of dollars over the life of your loan. And you may not realize PMI doesn't protect you. It only protects the lender in case of default. But at Third Federal, you can buy a home with just 5% down and no PMI. Plus, first-time home buyers get $750 off a closing cost. So if you're thinking about buying your first home, go for it and visit thirdfederal.com.
Even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3rd-FED today. APR reflects 15% down for $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restrictions apply. See conditions for closing cost coupon at thirdfederal.com/FTHB. Equal housing lender.
Hey there, friends. Bo Bishop here. Spring weather has arrived, and we all know what that brings. Warmer weather and severe storms. Well, when bad weather hits, we all know it can cause leaky roofs or even damage to your siding and gutters. The Roofing Guys are your local experts in roofing, siding, and gutters and more, providing top quality through every roof, every time. So it's just a small repair, full replacement, or even peace of mind. You need to contact my guys, the Roofing Guys, 614-626-7000, or visit them at theroofingguys.com. That's theroofingguys.com.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening.
You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Brought to you by the Capital One Saver Card. With Saver, you earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining, entertainment, and at grocery stores. That's unlimited cash back on ordering takeout from home or unlimited cash back on tickets to concerts and games. So grab a bite, grab a seat, and earn unlimited 3% cash back with the Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet? Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Broadcasting from the Lindsay Honda Studios.
Honda makes the cars. Lindsay makes the difference. Visit lindsayhonda.com.
WBNS-FM, HD1 Columbus. The Fan.
Good morning. I'm Mark the Shark Tide. Jerome has been in the NBA for 6 seasons. He's played 229 regular season games, but until last night had never played in an NBA postseason game. Jerome scored 16 points in the fourth quarter, 28 for the game, and helped the Cavaliers beat the Heat 121-100 in game 1 of their first-round playoff series. In baseball, the Reds scored 24 runs in one game. First time that's happened in 26 years. Noelvi Marte had a grand slam and 7 RBIs as Cincinnati clobbered Baltimore 24-2. In Pittsburgh, the Pirates scored 3 in the 9th to tie the Guardians, but Kyle Manzardo's sac fly in the 10th gave Cleveland a 5-4 win. In golf, it had been nearly 3 years since Justin Thomas won a PGA Tour event. The drought ended yesterday in the RBC Heritage at Hilton Head. The Sports Center is sponsored by RCD RV Supercenter in Heath, Delaware, and Pataskala, or at rcdrv.com.
If this show made a scented candle, it would smell like bad coffee, unwashed jockstrap, and grass clippings.
I wasn't sure how you take your coffee.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
So, mouth or enema?
Hour 3 for us here on a Monday. Got Mike Bennett hanging out with us. Bob on his way back from WrestleMania. Be back Tuesday, a.k.a. tomorrow. Joshua Perry, he's going to join the program coming up at 8:30 a little bit later on.
Keeping you informed about what's trending this morning. It's time for a little re-rack on Morning Juice.
Sponsored by Billiards Plus, the largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard in Central Ohio. And everything you need for the master griller.
Crew went to Cleveland. Much angst around Columbus and that game being moved because of Messi coming into town. Got beat 1-0.
That's what they get for not playing it in Columbus.
My neighbor who went to the game, he was like, it wasn't very loud. He's like, I know that they announced there were 60,000 people there. He's like, I doubt that there were 60,000 people there. He goes, probably more 40,000. Upper Bowl was nice in the middle, and then it was pretty scarcely populated throughout the rest of the game. But you didn't. If you went for Messi, you didn't get to see a Messi goal. If you went to watch the Crew play, as you should being from here, you didn't get to see any goals. They did have almost 3 expected goals. They couldn't put one across, and they have their first loss of the season. I would say that was not a great weekend, not a fantastic weekend for them.
No, and it's a shame because this was their first loss of the season, so they've been doing well. We knew that I personally felt like this was going to be a prototypical rebuilding year after losing Cucho. So the fact that they were able to go this long without losing a game is impressive. But I always hate when you change the venue for a team just on some random reason. I know that I know what Messi does. I know who Messi is. You know what I'm saying? I know what he brings.
I understand why you do it. That doesn't mean I have to like it.
Doesn't mean I have to like it. Also, like you're saying, the atmosphere probably wasn't what it would have been at Columbus. Mm-hmm. The fans at Columbus would have been rabid. Everybody would have wanted to see it. I'm sure they would have done some hijinks here to jack up the ticket costs and all that kind of stuff. Yeah. But when you take the hometown team and you move them out of the hometown for a home game, Yeah, it's going to be a little different.
Yeah, exactly. So if they lose over the weekend 1-0, they also traded DeJuan Jones to San Jose, and then you get San Jose at home this Saturday. So that'll be an interesting little back and forth. Bruce Arena in charge of San Jose. So see what happens with that, but I think back to winning ways, get back home, see how everything goes. I did see Steven Marrero was at the Cavs game, though, last night, Sharky. So he was out there having a good time. Jerry Jeudy spoke. He was like the match igniter or dog pound captain, I guess. And then he was wearing a Miami jersey. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense at all. You can't have your guy in Ohio go against the crew. Like, I get it. I understand. But, yeah, my neighbor said, there was probably about 40% pink in that stadium. Like, I get it. I understand. But still, not a great weekend for them. They lose 1-0. Ohio State men's lacrosse took down Michigan 10-8, got their first Big Ten title in program history. Good job, fellas. Good job. Way to go. I saw that emotion from them. It was a fantastic weekend that they had. Reds won 2 out of 3 in Baltimore. They played at 24 runs yesterday. So an offensive explosion, 24-2 winners. They will take on the Marlins tonight in South Florida. Gardo swept the Pirates over the weekend.
Swooped the Pirates.
Took 10 innings to do it yesterday, but they got that done. Nice home stand for them, Sharky. 9 in a row starting tonight, with the Bombers of the Bronx coming into town.
Yes, indeed. All those wonderful bats. You know who else is using that bat now, the torpedo bat?
Who?
Stephen Kwan.
Ooh. Like a torpedo bat so far?
He hit a 2-run bomb yesterday.
So I would say yes, he's enjoying
Skinny
that.
little guy, and he's showing that power.
So Mike was so nice to give you... How many do you have over there? How many donut holes?
I put all of them over there.
Oh, you have the whole box in front of you? So this is usually reserved for the afternoon show where they do food tasting live on
this
air.
thing weighs 10 pounds.
Yeah, so if you're watching, you can watch on the YouTube show. Shark, get in there. Give us a live reaction to the donut hole. Again, Bill's Donuts in Centerville. Mike, you try to go every time. I try to avoid it for the most part now.
Yeah.
William loves them.
I bet.
He loves it. Meredith loves it. Everybody in the family loves them. It's great. If you're ever down there, go to Bill's Donuts. Why don't you pop one of those suckers in your mouth and tell us what you think of it.
I was thinking about going for the powdered donut because Greg Armstrong our engineer, would be really happy with me getting powdered dust all over the board here. Or I was going to go with the cinnamon, but I see that we only have one choice. There aren't very many options.
I didn't say I brought you Bill's Donuts. I said I brought you Bill's Donut Holes. Bill's, first, for the record, Bill's has great donuts. They really do. But their donut holes, I think, will hold up against any sweet thing in this country.
They're really heavy.
They're dense.
They're dense.
They're dense. Pop that in there.
They're cakey donuts.
I know exactly the sensation that Shark is going through right now, and it's got to be
They're special, man.
Yeah, it's
we got these yesterday. They're still very moist and fresh.
Mm-hmm.
They last for, I would say, a solid 4 days before they start getting a little crusty.
What?
Yeah.
And even then, you just throw them in the microwave and they're rejuvenated.
How many did you get, Mike?
5 dozen.
That's 60.
The people at work also think Mike's going to have 3 dozen.
Yeah, we're not telling them. So
be quiet.
Wow, those are really good. Can I have another one?
You can have another one, Shark.
That's it, though.
I love sharing. If I see you dip your hand in that box again, I'm coming through this window. They're special. You can knock them down.
Is bulletproof, my friend.
It's not Michael proof. All right. When donut holes are on the line, I don't mess around about it. But now, now you're gonna have to take a trip to Bill's every now and then.
Yeah.
Get you some donut in retirement.
Is that right downtown or is that Centerville?
It's Centerville. Yeah.
It's 675, turn left on 48, and then you'll get there. You'll pass that. If you really wanted to have yourself a day, you can go to Bill's and then right across the street to Marion's.
Probably the other order.
Is that pizza?
Go get you some Marion's pizza and then some Bill's Donuts.
Whatever you wanted to do.
That's why they make them big in Centerville. Yeah. that's why me and Beamer are from Centerville.
That's right. I did see the Sasquatch in the YouTube chat. So the banana donuts from Bill's are the best. I've never had a banana donut from Bill's. Said too bad they're seasonal. Never had one.
I don't know if I've ever had one either.
They're blueberry donuts, though.
Oh,
pound for pound against any donut in the world.
I think their cinnamon twist with caramel on top is an incredible donut too. I'm telling you, I always rant and rave about the donut holes at Bill's, but the donuts are phenomenal. So I'm always going to be trying to be a proponent of Bill's Donuts and just, supporting local businesses. So if you're in the area, make a stop.
I will say this, though. As far as Columbus donuts go, DK Diner here over in Grandview, their sour cream donuts.
They're good. Yeah.
Unmatched for me. That's my favorite donut in the city. There's sour cream donuts, and then the Buckeye donut.
I was about to say, I think
iconic.
my favorite donut in the city is the Buckeye donut. And then also Buckeye donuts apple fritters are phenomenal.
Have you ever heard of Parlor Donuts?
Mm-mm.
Where's that?
They just put one in, a quarter mile from my house in Powell. And you usually have to wait in a line to get in.
I hate waiting in the line,
popular.
Shark.
I know.
I hate it.
But they'll set you back $3.90 for a donut.
That box was $15.
Is that right?
Yep.
Well, that's pretty good, actually.
That's pretty good prices.
Yeah.
$3 a dozen? That's solid.
Something like that, yeah. Yeah.
That's a good price point.
That's really good. Yeah.
I'm looking at the Parlor Donut, Shark. There's a lot of bang for your buck on here.
Oh, my gosh.
Are they the fancy kind of donuts?
Yeah,
or are
these are everything you want. Now, I like the maple. I like just a regular donut with a maple, but they've got the maple and bacon bits on top.
Ooh.
I like coconut.
I would describe these as designer donuts.
Yeah.
For sure.
Okay. I'm not a big designer donut guy, but they might, I don't know. I'll have to give them a shot to decide and see what.
You're a hard hat lunch pail donut guy?
Hard hat lunch
Just
pail.
show up to work, don't complain about it. I'm not missing a day of work. I'm not taking a PTO day. I'm here for the donut hole.
I'm a classic guy.
You're not you're just not like a cookies and cream.
No, I was raised on Bill's Donuts. I was raised on Krispy Kreme, and that was the only donuts I'd had until I got to Columbus, and then I expanded it to Buckeye Donuts, and that was about it until I got back here last year. And then like at work we do Tuesdays donut day, so if somebody will bring in donuts, so I've gotten exposed to more donuts, and I'm still pretty much a Bill's and Buckeye Donuts guy.
What do you think about the Boston cream?
Is that's the one that's
with the custard inside?
I
like them.
I like a jelly filled more than a custard.
I won't
custard
touch the jelly filled.
No,
I won't touch it.
Custard kind of gets I get a little weirded out by it. Not
Really?
gonna lie. Yeah, it's sometimes there's too much. Like the ratio is too much cream to donut.
So
It's
I
the
used
same
to,
thing with warm cream cheese. Like
Yeah, you're a weirdo.
I
about
know.
that.
It's
And
strange.
you like the fact that you don't even like crab rangoons.
No, I hate them.
It's tested our friendship.
It's the worst food in the world.
All
It's
right,
disgusting.
calm down.
It's disgusting.
Next.
Fried wonton wrapper with smoking hot cream cheese.
It's amazing.
It's gross.
It's the best thing we got.
It's not.
All right.
It's arguably bad.
Like you're pissing me off.
I do that on purpose, too. I know it makes you so mad. Where are the Buckeyes slated to go in the draft this week? That's next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Right now, still watching crews on the southeast side at that 270-33 split. Crews clearing out an issue from earlier this morning. And in Gahanna, 270 northbound, the left lane blocked off just past Johnstown Road. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your Fan Traffic.
Men over 40, struggling with low energy, not feeling like yourself. Low T Center's testosterone replacement therapy is the solution. Get started today. Visit one of their conveniently located clinics, meet a medical provider, and get back to feeling your best. This April only, the consultation is free. Treatment is tailor-made just for you, and it's covered by most major insurance. Get treated at one of the Low T Centers or from home. Why wait? Book your appointment now at lowtcenter.com. That's lowtcenter.com.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Jim Jeffries. 1971. The patent office got a patent for a suitcase with wheels on it.
Son of a carpenter tour.
We went to the moon in the 60s.
Saturday, April 26th at Mershon Auditorium. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com. Hear that? That's the sound of saving a good deal more when you shop with M-Perks at Meijer. Some delicious blueberries, money saved. A creamy treat of cookie dough ice cream, that's money saved. Savings, savings, savings. Because every dollar spent is also 10 points earned in M-Perks, which you can use to save on your next grocery trip or up to $1 off per gallon on your next tank of gas. At Meijer, we work hard to help you save a good deal more for a whole lot less. That's bringing more good to life. Exclusions apply. See mperks.com for details.
Did you know even the smallest increase in mortgage rates can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your loan? Hi, I'm Mark Stefanski, Chairman and CEO of Third Federal. It's true, even a 0.25% change in rate can cost you thousands of dollars over the life of your mortgage. But with Third Federal's new Early Rate Lock, you don't have to take chances. Early Rate Lock is the only pre-approval that locks in your rate at pre-approval, even before you find a house. Plus, we're so confident that our rates are the lowest, if you find a lower rate, we'll beat it or give you $1,000. And now through April 30th, get pre-approved with Third Federal and we'll pay all of your closing costs. So don't wait. Call Third Federal today.
Right now at Third Federal, even before you find a home, lock in 6.625%, APR 6.685% on a 30-year fixed-rate purchase mortgage. Visit thirdfederal.com or call 1-800-3RD-FED today. APR reflects 15% down per $350,000 loan amount. Rate requires automatic payment program and is subject to change. Restricted supply. Zero closing costs on low-cost loans only. See conditions for lowest rate guarantee at thirdfederal.com. Equal housing lender.
Master Grillers Unite. The grilling season never ends at Billiards Plus. Come see their best-in-class grills for yourself and check out Central Ohio's largest selection of pool tables, game furniture, and shuffleboard. Family-owned and operated. Billiards Plus on Dublin Center Drive in Dublin.
Fish has been named the third best sports program director in the country. The two dudes who finished ahead of him are dead. So we're declaring him the winner. You're listening to the home of champions, the Fan, Ohio sports destination.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty. Do you want to sell your property, however, you need a little help getting through the process? Let's say you have years of belongings in the home. It needs a lot of updating, you're overwhelmed, and you may need help finding a place to go. I will help you. Visit us today at TurboTrackRealty.com or call me now for an all-cash offer and, more importantly, the help you need at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
You can stream the game on your phone while you're gardening. You can stream it while you walk the dog. You can stream it at a trampoline park. You can even stream it at a monster truck rally. But the second you get behind the wheel, the game's over. Remember, Ohio, phones down. It's the law.
Hey, Ohio, Prime Sports has arrived, the only book where you can lay 108 instead of 110 on all your favorite teams. Football, baseball, basketball, and hockey. Why would you risk more to win the same amount at another sports book? Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
We'll have chances of showers and thunderstorms early into the early afternoon. Some could be strong, so stay weather aware. Otherwise, we clear out as we go into the second half of the day. Temperatures soaring into the upper 70s with breezy winds, and then those winds continuing tonight. Lows right around 50. Plenty of sunshine to go around on Tuesday. It'll still be on the milder side with our highs in the low 70s. For the Fan, I'm meteorologist Meredith Garfalo with your 10 Weather Impact Forecast.
Prime Sports is the official sports book of Morning Juice.
Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com.
The Fan. Bobby played football for Bill Parcells and Bill Belichick. Beamer played football for a drunk named Joe who worked at the gas station. You're listening to Morning Juice.
So usually when Mike's in here, we get to play some ping pong in the morning. Well, usually we to play some basketball, but we got some construction stuff going on, so no basketball today. You may or may not have pulled a back muscle playing ping pong this morning.
Beam was painting the corners on the ping pong table, and I, competitive me, I felt like
I'm launching myself for this ball.
Yeah, I almost jumped. I almost extended myself for the win. You have to. If you're not gonna give it all for the win, then what are you worth? But in my 32 years, my back wasn't ready for that. I almost threw it out. I could feel a little twinge. Had to sit down for a second, but we survived it. And now I'm up in the record right now.
I'm getting drilled this morning.
It's tough. What is it? 5? 5 to 2?
5 to 2 in the series.
Tough scenes, man.
I mean, just getting annihilated.
Retire my jersey.
Yeah, it's going to be bad. It's really bad.
Well, we got one more game before I head out of here?
Yeah, probably. because then our next break's a 2-minute break, so we won't be able to play that. Shark, you could call and talk to JP while we're finishing up.
He'd understand.
Finishing up the game. He would. He would understand. He's a competitive guy.
Yeah.
My back has actually never been stronger in my life than what it is right now.
I believe you've been carrying around a 40-pound kid. How much does he weigh now?
But last month when we his 2-year doctor's appointment, he was 36 pounds.
It's a big boy.
He's dense. He's dense.
What age do you stop picking a kid up a lot? Like 9? Like when do you stop picking up a kid?
I don't know. I don't really know. I mean, the only thing I can have to go off of is our nephews, and the oldest one is 5. He'll be 6 in February, and he still gets picked up from time to time.
Yeah, I think 9 might be a little old to be picking up a kid, but I think
dude, if he weighs, if we're on this growth trajectory, I will not be able to pick him up by the time that he reaches 9.
Have I ever told you about like the speed that I started gaining weight like after 6th grade?
It's all the Bill's Donuts.
I was like 130 in 6th grade, already a big kid. That's a big 6th grader. 7th grade I was 160. 8th grade I was 190. Freshman year I was 210. Sophomore year I was 275.
Woo!
Snap of the fingers.
60 pounds in a year?
60 pounds in a year. Good weight, all muscle.
Especially those lunches you were eating.
Especially, I was outrageous. I still feel guilty. You know, once you become an adult, you look back on what your parents were spending on food. I was housing like 2 rotisserie chickens a day. It was disgusting.
It's like the scene in Game of Thrones with the Hound and the Kingsguard.
One of the best scenes in television.
Hey, you're willing to die over some chickens? Somebody
I'm
is.
gonna eat every chicken in here.
I don't know, Shark. When do you? You have more familiarity with this. You have grandkids. You have been a father 3 times. When do you stop picking your kids up?
4 years old. Okay. I would say. Yeah.
All right. Well, William's got 2 more years.
A couple of years to go.
Yeah.
Enjoy those free rides while you can.
Seriously.
Because they're going to stop at some point. Mare's back is already like, she's like, I'm not long
carrying around
for being able to do this.
A 40-pound kid. Oh, he's dense, man. He's dense.
Her cousin was in town last week, and she was holding him for something, and maybe for like 2 minutes.
Yeah.
And she like put him down and then just started waving her arms.
Shake the arms out.
Like, man, that's a nice little bicep workout. Like it is. I can still pick Theo up, but it's tough.
That's why they talk about old man strength, right? He's just carrying around a kid all the time.
I think I'm just going to start carrying around
sandbags,
buckets, and bags full of sand.
I told you we can get you on the old man strength workout, which is literally just carry heavy stuff. That's if any listeners, if you want to be known as somebody with old man strength, just carry around like buckets of sand back and forth in your backyard or
something. Like a 5-gallon bucket?
Yeah, that's all you need.
2 5-gallon buckets full with sand.
Just keep carrying them, and eventually your forearms and your core will get strong, and that is old man strength.
That's what I'm going to start doing.
There you go.
I kind of already do that anyways.
I was about to say, you're a homeowner and a dad, so that's what it is.
Buckeyes in the draft this week. Be interesting to see kind of where they all land. Dan and Matt of 11 Warriors always do this and put together a very nice kind of projections. It's not their own projections, but they take about 30 mock drafts. Some of these mock drafts range from the first round. Some of them do only the first 3 rounds. Some of them do the entire 7 rounds. So I was looking at this. Your highest ranked Buckeye and their average draft projection would be offensive tackle Josh Simmons. Average draft projection for him is 25.2. Emeka right behind him at 29.6. Will be fascinating to see kind of where those 2 guys land, if they will be taken in the first round, what that looks like. We talked to Tony Gerdeman a little bit earlier at Buckeye Huddle. We talked to Bill Bender talking about the guys in the draft, and we asked them both this question: how many top end do you think Ohio State players can make their way into the first round? I think Gerd said 4. Bill Bender said 5. Low end, it's 1. I don't know if it's going to be Emeka. I don't know if it's going to be Josh Simmons. He's obviously had a very big injury that he was dealing with, so that's something he's going to have to get over for the hurdle. But I have to think there's going to be at least 1 Buckeye go in this first round.
I've been thinking about it. Early on in the show, I said that I thought Emeka would fall to 2 just because he's not what Ohio State, he's not like the top Ohio State receiver since he's been at Ohio State. But I'm going to change what I said, and I'm going to say that I think he'll be a first rounder off of the strength of Ohio State receivers' pedigree.
Okay, makes sense.
We know he's good enough. We know he's got the talent. We know he's got the professionalism. I don't think we've had an Ohio State receiver be a bust in like 10 years, if not longer than that. Like, if you're an NFL team, you can almost guarantee you know what you're getting when you draft an Ohio State receiver. They are going to be a contributor. They're going to be a professional, and they're going to take care of their bodies and work their tails off and be good. Now, I think we've had some Ohio State receivers who have had injury issues, but that's only like 2 of them. But I think if you're an NFL team, you can't go wrong drafting an Ohio State receiver that has shown production during their college days.
I mean, the pedigree's there, right?
The pedigree is there. It's proven.
Going back to the 2016 NFL draft, so that would be 10 iterations now of this draft. Michael Thomas was drafted in the 2nd round. Guy worked out pretty well.
Yeah. Got a good, 6 years out of him?
Yeah, was the most productive receiver in the league, which then he was rewarded with the highest contract at the time for a wide receiver. I mean, him and Drew Brees were phenomenal.
Yeah.
When he was back in his heyday with the Saints. Braxton was also drafted as a receiver. It was an interesting situation for Braxton.
He still was pretty good while he was in the NFL during his 2nd year at that position, so I wouldn't consider him a bust at receiver.
You look at Curtis Samuel, still playing at a high level. The Dallas Cowboys took in round number 7 with the 239th pick Noah Brown, still in the league.
I was about to say, and he doesn't get talked about nearly as much as these other receivers. He has had a solid career. It's not the flashiest career. He's not won offensive, rookie of the year or something like that, but he's had a nice little career.
You look at the 2019 draft, no receiver was taken in the 18 draft. You look at the 19 draft, Paris Campbell was taken by the Colts. Paris just won a Super Bowl. I know he wasn't like a 1,000-yard receiver with the Eagles, but I'm pretty sure he was on that roster.
And he was another guy who had injury issues, I think.
He did. Another wide receiver, Terry McLaurin, was drafted in the 3rd round by Washington.
He's pretty good.
Argument that Terry McLaurin was the best wide receiver in the entirety of the playoffs.
Yeah, he might be all right
this year. That guy's doing just fine, and he fits more of the mold of an Emeka. He was never the guy. Terry was never the guy, but he did all of the small things correctly. Knew he was going to be fantastic, and look at the career that he's having right now. 2020, KJ Hill went to the draft with the Rams, and then haven't had another receiver drafted until you got to 2002, and then it's been quite the run from there. Garrett Wilson, 10th, Chris Olave, 11th, and that going back to back. And then you also had Jameson Williams, who was a former Buckeye, taken, I believe, 12th, right? They went back to back to back in the 1st round. The Seahawks took Jackson Smith-Njigba 20th in the 2023 draft. Had a really good year this year, did Jackson. And then last year, look at Marv. I think we're projecting, all excited to see what he can do in year number 2.
So if I'm an NFL team, I know what I'm getting with an Ohio State receiver. I'm taking Emeka 1st round.
I don't think that's a bad idea.
I mean, you can try. They can try to be cute and try to let him slide to 2 so you can get him a little cheaper, but I don't think he'll fall that far. There's always a need for good receivers.
You got Donovan Jackson with his average draft projection of 39.6. Right behind them, Travion Henderson at 41, and then Tyleik Williams at number 42. And I think for all these guys, it just comes down to run of position or team fit when they come on the clock.
I think of all of those that you just mentioned, Donovan Jackson has the highest chance of going 1st round, just because as an offensive lineman, you get a better idea of what they might be in the league, just because based off of their measurables, you can see how they might match up. And Donovan Jackson's done really well. Like you said, journeyman's not the right word, but he's
all-American. But I mean,
he can play multiple positions, and that is huge in the NFL because offensive linemen go down left and right. I know some guys who weren't the best players on their teams in the NFL, but they're lasted 12 years, 13 years, specifically because they were reliable and they could play multiple positions.
Best ability.
It is best ability is availability. Yep. So I'm hoping that our D tackles can get started early and get drafted early, but that definitely is a position. D tackle and running back just depends on when the first one goes.
You look at Ty Hamilton as well, that other interior defensive tackle who you loved watching for his last couple of years here at Ohio State. Top end for him among these mock drafts, round number 3 to the Cards. Low end for him, round number 7 to the Chargers. So that's a wide swath.
Yeah, I don't picture him falling to 7, but I think 3 or 4 is probably a good bet. Depending on when the first D tackle goes, because apparently there are a lot of D tackles coming out of this draft.
Joshua Perry, he's going to join the program coming up here in 2 minutes. Morning Juice right here on the Fan.
Fan traffic
from the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Hey there and good morning. Still watching crews clear out a crash on the southeast side at that 270-33 split. Watch for closures over there. And then in Gahanna, 270 northbound still slow moving near Johnstown Road due to a crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Steigerwald with your Fan traffic.
We all hear the radio ads about the IRS. They tell you to be afraid, to be scared, and they try to frighten you into calling. I'm not here to do that. Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000, $50,000, or $500,000, we have a solution. It doesn't matter if you're sitting in your car, at work, or with your kids. No matter where you are, call now. 800-575-6759. Don't lose hope. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS. Generous programs are now available that can give you a fresh start. Our passion is taxes and helping individuals fix their IRS problems. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with the Better Business Bureau. You don't need to be afraid of the IRS any longer. End your tax nightmare today by visiting us online at TRA.com or call 800-575-6759. That's 800-575-6759. Tax Relief Advocates. Real solutions for real people.
Now at White Castle, you can get 12 chicken rings for just $3.99. Tender on the inside, crispy on the outside. Choose from classic or our new Cheddar Blast flavor made with real cheddar cheese. White Castle. Follow your crave. Limited time only at participating castles. Tax not included.
Make this your year. Looking for a new career in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, and AI? Attend classes live, online, or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today. Financial aid is available to those who qualify.
Morning Juice is sponsored by Awaken 180 Weight Loss. Fast, sustainable weight loss without medication. Awaken 180 Weight Loss.
Just a couple of dudes being guys.
What's better than this? Guys being dudes.
You're listening to Morning Juice.
Coming up here tomorrow at this very time, Uncle Bo Bishop, he's going to join the program. Talk all things Brownies, getting ready for the draft on Thursday. Right now, though, we head out to the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. Check with our great friend. He is Joshua Perry. JP, happy NFL Draft Week. What do you got going on? What's happening?
Oh, man, everything is going well. Appreciate you guys having me. Got some coverage here in Chicago leading up to the draft. Going to talk about what the Bears should do with the 10th pick, which if Ashton Genty is there, I'm still saying pass on it. I'm actually out on Ashton Genty. As of right now, that's my hot take for NFL draft season. But it should be a fun week. I always enjoy covering it. I always like watching it the whole weekend through. So excited.
Hey, you'd be proud of your former teammate. Mike almost gave life and limb trying to dive for a ping pong ball a little bit earlier on. We may or may not have tweaked the back muscle, but he was not willing to let that ball get past him, Joshua.
Okay, so here's the question. Was this before the show at
during? No, it's during. This is during.
Okay.
This is during commercial breaks.
It's still too damn early, and that's your problem too. Is you need to stretch before you get out there. Running around, extending. You can definitely hurt yourself. We are people who are in our 30s now. It's not as easy to just get up and go as it once was.
You don't have to tell me. I woke up and I stretch. I stretch almost every night now, JP, because. Like you said, I just don't bounce back the way I used to. But I got to do a warm-up routine out in the parking lot before playing ping pong now. It's a sad day. It's a sad day. JP, I want to talk to you. It's tough. It's tough. I want to talk to you. I've saved this for the whole show because I wanted to get to you. I want to talk to you about Cody Simon and where you think that he'll fall in the not fall, but where you think he'll go in the draft because they've got him round 4 to round 7. I think he had a heck of a career at Ohio State. So why do you think he's, seen as a later round guy? And do you think that we're going to see him in, I'll say round 4 and 5?
Yeah, so the more that you get into NFL draft season and you watch the way that players are evaluated by both the TV analysts who cover it and people who are in front offices, the more you realize that the NFL is obsessed with athletic traits. They are obsessed with guys who are freak athletes, and they will take the athleticism over the production, over having a great football player, because every coach in the NFL thinks that they can coach any guy who's a good athlete, even though we've learned time and time again that's just not the case. And so for a guy like Cody Simon, he's not going to be the most physically impressive just from a straight up traits standpoint. And so that's where you get a guy who has really high production. And certainly it took him a little bit, a long time to come along in his collegiate career. Some people would see that as a knock, but he stayed the course and got there. But they will pass over a guy that has his level of production, his level of physicality his leadership traits and his background, where, you know, he comes from a family of people who have served our country. Like, he understands what sacrifice looks like and what it means to be a leader. And so to me, I'm thinking early on day 3, I would certainly pull the trigger. I'd probably pull the trigger late on day 2 if I was in the front office somewhere, because that's how much I value his production plus who he is. We just know the NFL is not that type of league right now. But whoever gets him is going to get a guy who should be ready to play pretty early on just because of the way that he's put together. But he's going to do the dirty work for you and probably stick around the league for a very long time.
He is Joshua Perry with us here on the Bryant Heating and Cooling Systems Fan Guest Hotline. This time next year, what are the conversations we're going to be having, or the conversations that Nico Iamaleava is going to be having with NFL general managers, coaches, and just the way that everything went down?
Yeah, I mean, this is – I have no idea. It's so bad to me. And I've been talking about it all week, but there's the what was his transfer market going to look like and how much money could he get? But even that conversation, I feel like missed the mark of the big picture of what went on here in terms of, like, the NFL people are going to look at that, and if I was sitting there and I'm putting together my draft board, it would be a do not draft, right? Like, that's what I would have tagged on there for multiple reasons. Is number one, like, the way you were chasing money and you basically, like, turned your back on the locker room, that's a bad look for me. But also just from, like, a football standpoint, when they tried to do the PR cleanup thing, they were like, oh, no, it wasn't about the money. It was about getting into a better offense or a good offense or whatever the case was. Dog, UCLA's offense is going to be terrible. They have no wide receiver production coming back. Their running back room is not going to be very good. And Nico's going to get sacked 100 times because that offensive line is bad. And so then I'm like, okay, well, you guys aren't even that smart then. And I need a quarterback who's smart if I'm getting ready to draft you. And then I'm also not trying to deal with the daddy agent thing. That's a bad deal. So I feel bad for Nico, because the more you dig into this, the more you realize that, you know, he's following the advice of other people. And as an adult, he has to be able to put his foot down at some point. But I also trust my dad, and I feel like my dad's got my best interests in mind, and I would listen to my father, so I understand how Nico got into that situation too, except for he got screwed listening to his dad.
Brandon and I were talking about it in the break, just how so many of these guys just have the wrong people in their ear, giving them advice on what they're worth and what they can get if they hold out and how to act in, you know, college football now to get the most money. When you look at how NFL teams view college football players, do you think that's going to be, you know, more than just Nico, do you think that's going to be an issue as we go forward with these guys kind of showing, I won't say bad character, but maybe that their priorities are outside of just football? Do you think that that's going to have big impacts when it comes to drafting these guys and how they're going to have to, how these NFL teams are going to have to start reevaluating personalities?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure it's going to come up, right? Like, if I'm sitting there and I'm looking at a guy who has, you know, 3 transfers, let's say, and you start going through and digging through the personnel file, and now you start to see that there were money disputes and money fights and whatever the case was, that's something I'm going to have to ask about. And if you can't give me a good answer, an explanation as to what happened in your past, then it's going to be like any other red flag that pops up during the draft process. I'm going to have to knock you for it. And I think it's unfortunate that a lot of people can't see the bigger picture here too. And I will say this, it's important to have a professional agent in these situations, but even some of the guys who are repped by pros, it's worse, I think, for the dudes who are repped by, as Urban would like to say, their third uncle, right? But the way that we get information and the way that we understand NIL, at least right now before the clearinghouse, is a bunch of rumors, a bunch of innuendo, and a bunch of whispers. And so guys are also operating without good information. And I think the best negotiations are data-driven. So this whole thing is a mess right now. But also, I don't care about that. I want to know, do you love football, and can you be a great teammate? Can you learn, and are you going to, you know, go all out for the team? And some of those guys are not going to look like those types of players because of the journey they chose to take in college chasing NIL money.
Hey, JP, are you excited to watch Michigan's spring game coming up this weekend, even though it was played this past weekend?
Dude, it's I kind of don't blame them because, you know, coaching and roster stealing. It is so weird, though. The enterprise up there is different than anywhere else. And I'm just saying from, like, a media standpoint, anywhere else that we have to deal with, they're just always, like, a step or two different. So this also isn't a surprise. the funny part about it is the clips are on the internet. There were people that were there. If you want to know what happened,
40,000 of them were there.
What happened? Yeah. So I mean, like, you can only hide so much in this day and age. But I actually do give them credit. If you felt like it was that important to protect your roster, but you also want people to be able to see it at some point, then this is the way you do it.
I'm looking very much forward this weekend to watching it for the first time. I have seen the clips, but I'm going to dive in. We'll do some research on Saturday. Hey, before we get you out of here, how was your Easter? All right.
It was good. Went did a little brunch here in the city. Had a good time. The boy was acting up yesterday, though. And he's at that point. He's a little bit. He doesn't understand his own strength, and those hands start flying toward my face. And like, you might see me on TV with a black eye one of these days, and it's because my son beat me up.
Hey, you got to watch out for those hands too.
You got to start using some pass rush techniques.
Wait until you get him.
I'm trying to teach him.
Wait until you get him a hard plastic toy, and he decides that he's going to be like prime Randy Johnson and fire that thing at your face at 100 miles an hour.
He cracked my wife over the head with a brush, a wooden brush the other day. I laughed so hard, even though I shouldn't have. It was hilarious.
I mean, your head's got to be on a swivel all the time. You've got to know. You got to know where those hands are going, or sometimes even head. I don't know if young James has a strong head, but William has headbutted Meredith and I both a couple of times and has left us woozy.
So the headbutt used to be my move when I was a little guy, apparently, and that is a thing that has been generationally passed down because James just gets to swinging his head around, and it hurts.
Yeah, can't lie. I mean, it does. It'll crack you. JP, always appreciate the time. Thanks for hopping on with us. Have a great rest of the week, buddy, and we'll check in again soon. All right.
All right. Take care, guys.
There he goes, Joshua Perry, with us every single Monday at this time. We're going to reveal our fan poll next. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. Still watching crews clear out a crash on the southeast side. 33 at 270, slow moving due to crews over there. And then in Gahanna, 270 northbound is slow moving past Hamilton Road due to a crash. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
Care Heating and Cooling. When you need a company you can trust, call 1-800-COOLING.
Hey, spring is here, and nobody wants to suffer through another spring, summer, fall, not being able to do the things you love. Get outside, walk around with friends, go to your kids' games, go to your grandkids' games. Maybe you want to go bike. Maybe you want to play some pickleball, some tennis, some golf, whatever it is. Those are the activities you'll love to do. And maybe you're in intense pain. Hey, Bobby Carpenter here. That was me. That was my dad. And so you want to know what we did? We went and saw the medical pros at QC Kinetics right here in Columbus, Ohio. They're on the case, and they're going to get you the relief just like they did for us. For me, it was my knee. I had some issues from playing. They helped it out. For my dad, it was his other knee. They helped him out. But whether it's a hip, a shoulder, or back, you won't miss a beat. There's no surgery, and there's no long recovery. With QC Kinetics, the science is solid. They'll give you your life back without harmful meds. So go check them out at qckinetics.com/Columbus and find out the easiest path for you. They've got 2 new locations at Canal, Winchester, and Grove City, so give them a call at 380-208-4544.
Welcome to Canes. It's Luke Bryan. What can I get you? Today I'm raising funds with Raising Canes and my buddy Todd Graves for the Brett Boyer Foundation. Great food and a great cause. Raising Cane's Chicken Fingers and the Brett Boyer Foundation. One love.
I'm an old school Joe. I never lay juice I don't want to lay. I don't hate my money like that. I'd rather lay minus 108 than minus 110, wouldn't you? Prime Sports is Ohio's full-time reduced juice sportsbook. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app or visit our website, primesportsbook.com. Get a welcome bonus to match your initial deposit up to $400 in bonus bets. And be a member of the Prime Sports family.
Terms and conditions apply. Visit website for details. Must be 21 and present in Ohio. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Spring is here and it's time for a fresh start, starting with your ride. At Germain Toyota, we've got an offer that'll drive you into the season in style. Get behind the wheel of a 2025 Toyota Tundra SR5 today for just $499 a month. That's right, a powerful, rugged Tundra, just like the one I'm driving, for $449 a month for 36 months. Germain Toyota on the corner of I-70 and Bryce Road, or online at germaintoyota.net. $39.99 down, 36-month lease, plus tax, title, and fees. No security deposit required with approved credit. Offer ends soon. See dealer for details.
Ever thought about teeing off in Ohio Stadium? Now is your chance with Upper Deck Golf. Play around in the Shoe, April 24th through 26th. Bring your friends and hit shots from the upper deck onto custom greens on the iconic field below. You'll start and end your round at the Stadium Clubhouse with great music, cold beverages, food, and interactive golfing challenges. Make it a VIP experience with additional perks, including free entry into driving, chipping, and putting challenges. Tee times will go fast. Register now at upperdeckgolfing.com to book a tee time. That's upperdeckgolfing.com.
Can't get enough of your favorite fan content? Good news, we're on all the digitals. Follow 971 The Fan on X, Facebook, YouTube, The Talk, and Gram. Your digital home for endless shenanigans. The Fan.
Quarterback Jordan Love isn't just on Green Bay's team. He's also on the American Family Insurance team. Because like us, he believes in dreaming fearlessly.
Just chase your dreams and don't let nobody hold you back.
And we help protect those dreams with the right coverage so you can
dream fearlessly.
American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
SoFi Personal Loan is here to help you achieve something once thought impossible: overcoming high-interest credit card debt. Walk the tightrope of your finances with one low, fixed-rate monthly payment, no fees required, and as soon as the same-day funding. That's right. Pull off your own debt-defying stunt with a SoFi personal loan. Visit SoFi.com/trick to learn more. Loans originated by SoFi Bank, N.A., member FDIC. Terms and conditions apply. NMLS 696891.
The Fan Poll is brought to you by Caster Connection. Visit CasterConnection.com to shop online or to work with our Caster Solution specialists.
If you can find a show that's closer to Buckeye football, it would be hosted by Ryan Day. You're listening to Morning Juice.
Uncle Bo and the boys, they're going to be up after we're done. All kinds of good stuff for them. We're going to check in with Austin Ward a little bit later, coming up at 10:30 this morning. Always a good day to go back and listen to the podcast. And the Morning Juice podcast is sponsored by Prime Sports. Download the Prime Sports Ohio app today or visit online at primesportsbook.com. You can use promo code JUSTSPORTS for a welcome bonus of up to $100. Joshua Perry on today, Tony Gerdeman on today, Bill Bender on today. All kinds of good guests for you here on a Monday.
Incredible stuff.
Getting you ready for the draft.
Post-Easter.
Like the draft?
I do like the draft. It's stressful to me. But
well,
I like
you've been through it before.
And it can be a wonderful day. It can be a tough 3 days. But I'm always interested to see where these guys will go. Like, I'm not a big believer that the draft matters that much. I think that what the guys do and once they get to the team is ultimately what's most important. But it's always good to see guys that you've been following get that big payday and finally get to accomplish their dreams of going to the NFL. So I really like to see what the Ohio State guys do in the draft.
Lots of dreams realized over this weekend, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. It's Meredith's least favorite thing on the calendar.
Why? Just because it's the most boring sporting event ever?
Yes. It's a non-sporting event. Nothing happens in it. I mean, I'll be watching a lot of it, obviously, on Thursday. I always enjoy it. The trades are something I enjoy, but she could be just less interested in anything else.
I'll tell you, day one of the draft
I can read about it.
Yeah.
All I need to do is look at the list. I'm like, I get it.
I don't usually watch day one.
You had to be there to watch.
Yeah, I don't usually watch day one. The 10 minutes or whatever they get is just too much.
Well, Bob was telling us, and I'm sure he'll tell us some more tales about draft time when we get to talk to him tomorrow and all throughout the week. That so they fixed the clock a couple of years ago. Like instead of being 15 minutes, it's now 10.
Yeah.
Which is
15 minutes was ridiculous.
And then every time there was a trade, and I don't really remember this at all, anytime there was a trade for the pick, they would reset the clock.
Yeah, dude, it was ridiculous.
The first round would take multiple hours.
Yeah.
Like
it was always
6 hours.
It was always fun to see how Cleveland would mess it up. But that was all I really had to look forward to.
The
no
look that
offense,
shot
Sharky.
just shot you over there.
That was what I looked forward to, was these teams that just can't get right. Like, what would they do when you're like, man, why would you draft that guy in the first round?
Because they
consistent.
can.
Because they can, just for fun,
right?
Keep it exciting.
Shark, how you feeling about the draft this week? I mean, you've been pretty quiet. We all think that Travis Hunter's going to go number 2 overall. Are we sticking to that plan, or are we going to have a late change of heart as we get closer?
I'm saying best player available, and that is Travis Hunter.
Yeah.
Do not want Shador, especially at number 2.
But, I mean, you guys don't have a lot of other options at quarterback.
What are you talking about? They have Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco.
Joe Flacco. What are you talking about?
See, this is what I'm talking about.
Kenny Pickett with those big hands.
They both have Super Bowl rings, Mike. Both of them do.
Yep.
Joe Flacco's great. Maybe they can go get Carson Palmer. He was pretty good, too. Brandon, you've been quiet about how you feel the Bears are going to do. That's another one. I talk crap about the Browns. The Bears are fun to watch, too.
Why are you talking about Carson Palmer? We're getting our savior back in like week 11.
Who, Deshaun?
Deshaun.
Yeah.
Yep, that's your guy. You bought a jersey yet?
It's going to be 2019 Deshaun. He's going to rise from the dead.
Let's hope it's not all the way 2019 Deshaun.
That's been the rumor for the last 4 years that he's going to get back to what he was.
It was
hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah, what did that look like?
Would you let Deshaun babysit your daughter?
What a ridiculous question.
It's absolutely ridiculous.
Brandon, talk to us about the Bears.
There's nothing to talk about. What do you want me to say?
What positions do they need?
Ashton Genty.
Yeah, Joshua Perry said no. He's a hard pass on Ashton.
He's a
Genty.
small guy. He's not very big.
Listen, they rebuilt the offensive line through free agency. You still need offensive linemen.
Is that defense up to your standards?
No.
No, they gotta make the Bears defense good again.
I know.
Who do they go get?
I don't know. I'm trying to not let myself get
trying
too
not to
excited.
be too upset about it.
I'm trying. I'm having a shift in philosophy.
Okay.
All right.
Uh-oh.
I don't want to get too excited.
What?
Too high and too low by them. I'm trying out. I've tried it with my golf game, and it's worked really well for me this year. I'm now trying to apply it to different areas of my life.
Man.
To not get too excited about things.
So you are not going to proclaim that the Bears are back?
I didn't say that.
Okay.
Are they back?
They're back. But I'm not going to be as excited when I talk about them.
Is Caleb going to have a big year?
Yes.
MVP.
Yeah. You think you think he's going to have a big year?
I'm very high on Caleb. No, I'm not saying he's going to be MVP, but Beamsy's not as high as I am on him.
Interesting.
I'm not. I've been burned before.
I'm
Shark.
thinking you're going to trade down.
I don't know if there's anybody who wants to trade up.
If they're smart, they'll trade down. If they're smart,
yeah, they just need more people. They just need more guys.
Once again, everybody should take the Bill Belichick Patriots, playbook and only draft like first rounders from 28 and lower, and then just build your team around third and fourth rounders.
And it's really due. I mean, that is where you make your hay.
That's where you make your hay.
Yeah. I mean, of course, your best players likely are going to be top end, but we have seen so many guys through the years either be not drafted or be drafted in those middle 4th, 5th, 6th rounds. Like multiple Hall of Famers, multiple All Pros. Like you can still
that
get
chip
guys
on your shoulder. Yeah,
you can still get guys at that level. So we got that to look forward to this week. Cavs play on Wednesday, Sharks. We get a couple of days of rest.
Yep.
We get Monday and Tuesday off for them. Okay, good. Feeling all right about their performance last night.
I think Miami's going to win a game or two in this series.
Gentleman sweep?
Yeah, let's go with that.
It's a gentleman's sweep.
5
and 1 or 4. Yeah.
You let him win one.
Yeah.
You're a gentleman.
Okay. Do you think, other than, who is it, the Grizzlies, do you think anybody else will get blown out? Or, completely swept in this first round?
You asking me or Shark?
Everybody. I'm asking the world.
Yes, I do think.
Think the Magic get swept? They're playing the Celtics.
I would say yes. I do think that the Celtics will sweep them. There are guys on Miami that scare me. Tyler Hero, Bam Adebayo.
Yeah.
So I do think they'll win a game or two.
I don't. I think it's going to be 4.
You do?
I think it's a Cavalanche.
Okay.
I think we're in Cavalanche
It's
territory.
so funny.
You got to make that shirt. That's incredible.
I have more confidence in your Bears than you do, and you have more confidence in my Cavs than I do.
We're doing
You're
the same
protecting yourselves.
dance. You know that? We are doing the same exact dance where I'm hyping you, I'm trying to gaslight you, and then you're trying to gaslight me.
I know. I already told you that the Reds were going to make the playoffs and win the division
They
this
did score 24 runs yesterday.
They did. Last time they had a big game like that, remember they scored 14 runs in a game, and then they were shut out for, was it 3 games in a row or just 2?
3.
Was it 3?
I
know they got shut out back-to-back, and maybe they went to like the 8th inning and finally scored a run in the 3rd game.
And then I think they won 1-0. They were involved in 3 in a row. They lost 2 in a row, 1-0, and then won the 3rd one 3-0. I think is what it was. Hey, before we get out of here today, our fan poll at 971thefan.com or on X, sponsored by Caster Connection. How many Buckeyes do you think will be picked in the first round of the NFL draft on Thursday? 0, 1, 2, or 3? I think I'm going to say 2. I think I'm going to say Josh Simmons and Emeka are going in the first round.
I agree with that. I think you could. Yeah, I agree with that. I was going to say Travion maybe, but for running backs don't usually go in the first round, and I'm curious to see how teams view his injury history. But I think he's a first round talent. It's just whether they value, his availability.
And also too, a running back run. It's kind of been a resurgence of that position as well. What do you got going on at work today?
Mergers and acquisitions, baby.
That sounds so good.
Got a couple deals going that are going to pick up. There's one that's just there. Some people think it's going to close this week. Probably not going to close this week. It's just these companies always set these outrageous timelines, but you need everybody on the same page. Like if the other side isn't moving that quick, then it doesn't really matter what we do. But yeah, a couple deals here and there. It should be fun. Some interesting stuff. Working on an F reorg.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, nobody does, but it's provocative. Get some people going.
Hey, thanks for popping in today. Had so much fun with you. Let's convene at some point in the future, all right?
Sounds good. Thanks for having me on.
Enjoy those donut holes, too.
Oh, I will.
I know you will. I know you're excited about that. Everybody have an awesome day. Uncle Bo and the boys are up next. We are back live at 6 a.m. tomorrow to break everything down. Have a good one. Talk to you then. Morning Juice right here on The Fan.
Fan traffic.
From the Atlas Butler Plumbing Services Traffic Center.
Good morning. We're still watching crews clear out a crash on the southeast side at the 270-33 split and in Gahanna 270 northbound slow moving just past Johnstown Road due to a crash as well. Make it a great day and a great week. I'm 10 TV's Amy Stuggerwald with your fan traffic.
For over 78 years, our family's been part of your love stories. At Diamond Seller, we offer bigger diamonds, better prices, and timeless designs for every chapter of your life. From your first yes to your forever I do, trust the jeweler who knows diamonds best. Visit Diamond Seller today.
Okay, so I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. Wendy's has this new Cajun Crunch chicken sandwich. And to be honest, I'm kind of crushing hard on this Sammy. It's packed with bold Cajun flavors and topped with crispy onions for a satisfying crunch. All on Wendy's iconic spicy chicken sandwich. It's honestly kind of my dream sandwich. I hope it likes me back. For a sandwich you'll love, gotta be Wendy's. Open till midnight or later.
Limited time only at participating U.S. Wendy's. Hours may vary by location.
Jim Jeffries.
1971. The patent office got a patent for a suitcase with wheels on it.
Son of a carpenter tour.
We went to the moon in the 60s.
Saturday, April 26th at Mershon Auditorium. Tickets available at Ticketmaster.com.
Everybody poops, everybody pees. Mommy, will you call Mr. Rooter, please? 'Cause I gotta poop and I gotta pee. Only Mr. Rooter can clear the drain for me. Thank you, Mr. Rooter.
Hi, everybody. We call it what it is at Mr. Rooter. When you have a plumbing or drain problem, the team at Mr. Rooter is ready 7 days a week. Call us today and take advantage of our $95 drain cleaning special. Visit us at MrRooter.com. We'll be there quick.
Stanley spent his life in the saddle, wrangling whatever life threw at him. But nothing prepared him for the fight against low T and ED. Shane practically hunched him over. Unbond pills just gave him a headache. He begged for a lifeline.
Well, maybe it's over.
Columbus Men's Clinic said no. Medical conditions, old age, there's hope. This is about real treatments. Science, not one-size-fits-all guesswork. Columbus Men's Clinic was designed for men who hate going to the doctor. Personalized plans, cutting-edge treatments, overseen by an actual medical provider that takes the time to listen. With low T and ED treatments others only dream about, we fight like hell to get you back in the saddle. Because every second you wait, your condition could worsen. Act now. Don't let time slip away. Dial 614-300-7400 or go to columbusmensclinic.com. Your consultation is only $99, including blood work. And you'll know your T level before you leave. Columbus Men's Clinic, making it happen.
When you're ready to sell your car, another reason to choose Hinder Motor Company is the easy, fast, fair, and hassle-free way to sell. This is Justin Hinderer. We pay top dollar for your vehicle, whatever the make or model, and no purchase is necessary. Consider trading and get even more toward your next vehicle. Drive in today and leave with cash or get a great deal. See why it's a pleasure doing business. Just visit HinderMotorCompany.com.
At Uline, the prevailing opinion is, if you don't live it, you don't believe it. The people at Uline believe in hard work, and they live it. by being there 24/7 to answer your call, having 41,000 items in stock, and offering same-day shipping from 12 locations across North America. Business owners, sellers, buyers, shippers, and packers believe it. Uline is the hard-working, dependable source for your shipping and industrial supplies. Visit uline.com.
Hey, it's Leslie from Pella Columbus.
And I'm Wilson from that other window place.
Wilson, people are officially going crazy over our sleek, black-framed windows. They change the entire look of a home.
Leslie, nobody believes that just black frames can change the look of a home.
It's like when Superman put on his black-framed glasses and became Clark Kent.
Wait a second. Clark Kent is Superman? Are you messing with me right now?
Get the window that homeowners rated the leading window brand in Columbus at PellaColumbus.com.
Evan Cohen here. When the draft clock is ticking, you've got to pick the best talent, regardless of position, to fit your team's needs. Well, if you're hiring for your business, you want to find the best talent for any of your roles. That's why you need ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter's powerful technology hustles to find qualified candidates for your job immediately. And if you see a standout candidate, ZipRecruiter lets you personally invite them to apply. Try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/USL. That's ZipRecruiter.com/USL.
The sports calendar is heating up, and with ESPN Bet Sportsbook, you can go from checking news to stats to placing bets in a couple of taps. Stream games, bet live, and get exclusive offers when you link your ESPN account. Right now, you can get $100 in bonus bets when you make your first $10 wager. Download the ESPN Bet app and sign up with promo code USL to get started today. Must be 21 or older. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Terms and conditions apply. See app for details. Offer not available in New York.
Broadcasting